This girl just loves America.
I do.
Guns,
love
powerlifting,
America.
country.
Yo, you walk in my store, there's no question who I voted for. See like Chris Bumstead and like all these pro bodybuilders that are very well known now.
What do they have? What are they on?
And they're like, what are they taking? I'm like, well, they're not taking that, sweetheart.
I'm like, you want to know what they're taking? It's called steroids.
Yeah.
That's what they're taking.
Yes.
And people are like, no, he's all natural.
And that's elite.
I don't want to go work out. I don't want to eat healthy, you know, like, but it's the discipline.
boring.
If you want something so bad, you're just going to make it happen.
That's right, Amanda.
Show
Absolutely.
up. Show up for yourself.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Burn Down Podcast. In the studio today, we have Amanda Herdman, owner of Boundless Nutrition, gun lover, power lifter. What else you got? Wasn't your cowboy, cowgirl, loves horses?
I don't know. Part-time cowgirl, I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
Real American.
we got the cowboy hat here with the diligent.
Yeah, we got to highlight that. We got to show the camera that.
Rapper here. So this thing is
I
sick.
do want to see what brand of hat this is.
So this is made in a store called Kimosabe, which of course I feel like a lot of people know.
Let me see. What type of?
It's just like it's a rabbit. It's like half rabbit, half beaver.
I love the branding. By the way,
half rabbit, half beaver.
I love the branding.
Sick.
That's what I was gonna ask.
It's not a Stetson. Stetson is my favorite hat, which is 100% beaver. I can talk about hats all day. I love hats, but I'm not.
So you're a woman of many trades,
Yes.
many what's the word? Adjectives.
Yes.
So welcome to the Burn
What would
Down.
you call
Thanks,
it? What would
guys.
you call a woman who's
Yeah.
a jack of all trades? What would you call a woman?
A jacket of
Well,
all trades.
I don't know.
I like that.
What is? Because you have the king and
The
queen,
ja- the
and then
jackaness.
there's the jack, and then what would be the female version of a jack? Let's look it up. What's the female version of a jack?
I might have to add that to my Instagram.
You know what I'm saying?
Come on, the jacket
What
of all
is
Part-time
trades.
jacket.
Yeah,
female?
I like that.
Yeah, I like
version.
that too.
Well, we got you in the studio. While Justin looks it up.
I'm gonna look it up.
What's up?
What's up?
You're a diligent lover,
I love the Diligent.
blueprint kind of lover. You smoked
Yeah.
the blueprint first. and
I've
you
had
found
the
it.
Blueprint first. I mean,
Oh.
obviously, but the Diligent, I like it.
Well, it's your
It's a
favorite
little-
color, red.
Red, so it
I
matches.
found that out just
Yeah,
now.
Yeah.
The jack gets
So-
way better than the answer.
What happened?
Wait, what?
I thought jack of all trades was like king, queen, jack. It's not. It's the Jill of all trades.
The Jill of all
Jack
trades.
and Jill.
That's kind of whack.
You
Kind
guys
of whack.
you guys should make a cigar for the ladies and name it that.
The jacket.
The Jill of all trades.
Jill of all
Oh, the
trades.
Jill of all trades. I'm like the jacket. I don't know. That might get misinterpreted.
Anyway, so this is how we get off topic.
Yeah, this
Real
is
quick.
what we're talking
Real
about.
quick.
This is what we're talking about. Amanda, you're in the studio. You're here.
Yes.
Thank you guys.
Appreciate making the drive.
Westchester.
Yeah.
A little
Yes.
rough.
Long Island traffic. Welcome.
Thank you guys.
Do you come
Thanks
to
for
Long
having me.
Island ever at all?
Honestly, like the Hamptons.
Yeah.
Oh,
Typical.
That's
Typical.
it. Is
All
that?
right. She ain't that
is
much
that-
of a cowgirl. You know what I mean?
Listen.
She got a little bougie
I
side.
have to
okay.
say, I do love Montauk. That's probably the
Hey.
only place I ever went to in the Hamptons. But, I mean, in
got a
Long
little
Island besides
bougie.
here. So
Yeah,
a little bougie sometimes.
Hey, the bougie cowgirl.
yeah,
If
that's
she ain't on a
okay.
horse, she's on a yacht. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
Maybe sometimes.
Well,
Yeah.
you're here. You made it. We've been waiting for a while to get you on because
Yeah.
we always see you at the networking
Tony's
shows
events.
and stuff
Yeah.
like that, and we say we're gonna get you on. So we
Yeah.
finally got you on the
Yeah.
day or 2 days before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So what's up?
What's up, guys? Thanks
and,
for having me.
I'm just happy to be here. Just happy to be here, smoking cigars, talking about one of our favorite guests now.
Love it.
What is this? Maybe like the fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh female cigar smoker on the guest.
I mean,
Wow.
it sounds like a lot, but
That's
out of
awesome.
260 plus episodes.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You're probably like sixth, seventh.
Yeah,
maybe?
you guys
But-
had my girl Nicole on. I
We
want to give her a
did.
shout out.
We did have
Nikki
Nicole
She's
on.
awesome. Love
Yeah.
her. Yeah.
So we met you at one of Tony's events.
Yeah.
Yeah, where did we
Right.
get? Is that where we met?
I don't remember. We've seen you at a bunch of Tony's events.
Yeah.
But we made the connection because you were in the fitness world. You're in
Yeah.
the fitness industry. You're a power lifter. You own Boundless Nutrition, which for people that don't know what Boundless Nutrition is, it's a supplement.
Vitamins, sports
supplement
supplements,
store, right?
shake bar, anything you need.
Shake
health.
bar looks
Yeah,
sick.
like-
Every time you post a
exactly.
video, I'm like, damn.
You guys got to make the drive out and get a shake next
Well,
time.
Pleasantville isn't far from
You know,
me.
you have
Yeah.
to put you have to put like a private gym in the back.
A
too.
private gym.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
You
got
know
a
what
small
I'm saying?
little office space. I don't know if it's going to
Put a
become
little
a gym. We'll
private
see.
gym. But so
Yeah.
we met you at one of the events, and being that you were in the fitness world and you were smoking cigars, I'm like, oh, this
Yeah.
is great because
Yeah.
you were saying that a lot of people come to us and say, oh, well, doesn't that hurt your performance? You go, actually, absolutely not.
Absolutely
like I have not
Yeah.
gotten any worse. I've actually, I've gotten better since smoking cigars. They don't hinder your performance at all.
Lowers your cortisol. Lowers
Exactly.
your stress.
It increases your testosterone. Maybe I should smoke cigars while I work out because it increases your testosterone.
Hey, that sounds like some great
But-
content, actually.
Yeah.
Because of that, we said we got to get you on to start talking about it because everybody thinks, oh, you're smoking cigars. It's got to be terrible for your cardio.
Yeah.
It's not. So we're glad that we have you on. Tell us a little bit about yourself. You are fitness, powerlifter, Boundless Nutrition. How did you get into powerlifting?
Yeah.
How did you get into the fitness industry?
The whole fitness industry, backtrack to, I guess, when I was about 15 years old. I started going to a local gym in my hometown, Pauling, New York, very, very small farm town. I don't know if you know it.
Yeah, I know Pauling.
Started going to World Gym. I would just see my parents. They would go together. They're adorable. And I was like, I want to just get into training, like it looks fun. So I started going to the gym, following my dad around, and just doing what he was doing. And I just saw a lot of the other people that would go there. And I'm like, I want to be like them. They're so strong. It was very like meathead old school bodybuilding gym.
like the pumping iron Arnold gym.
Honestly, pretty much. Like it was in a basement. It was called the Dungeon. A little sketchy, but it was cool, right?
Those are the best though, where you're
best.
clanking iron. Like you don't get the rubber.
You're there for
weights.
one reason. You're not there texting. You're not taking pictures. You're just there to
service
work
in the gym.
out.
No one's on a phone. You can't
That was
contact
like
anyone.
It was like the first gym that I went to called Ultimate Gym. That was
Okay.
that was like that, where it was just, it was like a garage. All the machines were just old. It was like a Frankenstein gym. You just kind of picking pieces of shit together. And they would play all just like old school metal, old school rock, and you just be banging, clanging.
That's how I got into metal too. Same thing.
And I'm like, you really feel like you're getting a workout, and then you go to something like LA Fitness, and it's just everybody's in there.
You feel like when I would go to gyms like that, I would feel like I don't belong. I feel weird. I'm like, I'm the fucking outcast here. I feel weird.
Yeah, like you drop it. Like in the old gym,
that.
it was please. Like they would have a sign, please drop the weights. Like please bang them.
Yeah,
okay,
we love
scream,
that.
grunt, yell, do what you got to do. You go to like, how many times you set off the lunk alarm at Planet Fitness?
Yeah,
that was. We used
Have
to
you
try.
guys? I was gonna say you guys have set it up before. Set it
Oh
off
yeah,
before?
I would do it on purpose.
Love
I would
that.
try to.
That's great.
But anyway, so
that's
so
I started going there, and then I was like, this is so cool. Like I want to get into training, and like I just honestly like asked for a job there. Like a year later, I started working there. I was really young, like 16. Fast forward probably a few months, I met one of my best friends who's an amazing bodybuilding coach to this day. And he was like, yo, like, have you ever done a show before? I was like, what the hell is that? A show? Like, he showed me pictures of girls getting on stage. I'm like, that's fucking weird, but I want to do it.
You're like, hold the phone here.
I like this weirdness.
Yeah, I was like, okay, cool. Like, sure. Like,
this was you're 15?
I was 16. Yeah, 16, I guess, going on 17. This was like
you're
a year.
in high school-ish?
High school, yeah.
Now, what kind of show was it? Was it bikini? Was it?
Yeah, bikini.
Bikini
yeah,
show,
NPC,
okay.
all the NPC shows, the bodybuilding shows. So I was like, sure, full send. Let's go into a prep. I know nothing about it.
Full send.
And it was like a meathead diet, like a dog diet. Like you are eating 5-6 meals a day, ground turkey.
So you've been doing this basic, for almost half your life.
Yeah.
Damn. And do you have any brothers, sisters?
3 older brothers. Yeah, I'm the baby.
3 older brothers.
3 older brothers.
I'm the baby, but I joke to my father all the time. I'm like your 4th son, honestly, with cigars and everything, and like that's what.
Are they into lifting as well?
Honestly, not so much.
Really?
One of my brothers in the military. Obviously, he's very active, very fit.
Yeah, he doesn't have to lift. He's probably in great shape already.
Yeah, he's just like has that cardio strength, which I don't. Like he can do fucking 60 pull-ups, and here I am like, oh fuck, like I can't do that.
Can't even do 5, right?
Yeah, I'm just a meathead. My other brother too, he's really unique. He's amazing. He actually has autism, and he just got into the gym about a year ago, really heavy.
Really?
And he's like hooked. Like he's like sending me videos like, Amanda, like today I benched this, I did this amount of reps, and it's incredible.
That's awesome.
With autistic people.
Yeah.
I've heard when they find they're like they're in. Like most people say, yeah, I'm in 100%. They're in. They're like
locked in.
They're locked in.
It's amazing because
it's like a superpower.
He'll
that
do
they
like
have.
doubles. He'll go like twice a day, and I'm like, yo, Mike, like that's incredible.
The level of being locked in that autistic people have is like a superpower.
He's like, and he has like this superhuman strength. It's incredible. He can just pick up a bar like 315. Never did a deadlift in his life. I'm like, oh my god, like
You're
it's
like,
incredible.
geez.
Yeah,
like, maybe tweak your form a little bit.
Yeah,
But,
yeah. But so I just like jumped into doing shows and stuff, and I didn't really know much about it, and I loved it. I got hooked. Then fast forward a few years, I got out of high school. I started managing a supplement store in my hometown for a good friend of mine, and he was like, "You're so good at this. Like you're so good at sales. You're so good with people. You're good at building relationships, and that's really what it is. In any business, anyone could shop on Amazon. They could go like." Buy anything at a GNC, but it's like they want to come support you because they like you.
Yeah.
People
don't buy your product, they buy you.
People buy you. That's 100%. Exactly it. So I started running his shop, and he's like, you're so good at this. like you need to do your own thing. And I was like, nah, I don't want to do that.
What was the name of the shop? What kind of shop was
it was called Doc's Nutrition in Carmel, New York.
Okay.
You might have heard of it. You might have heard of it if you're from Westchester.
I know Doc James.
I only moved to Westchester 4 years ago.
Okay.
I'm a Long Island boy at heart.
You're a Long Island guy.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So I just so happened to work down the street from my
GSA.
office is down the street from Justin. So
okay.
A lot, once a week I come down to my office in Long Island after work. This is where I spend the rest of the night. So it works out for the last 5.5 years.
So he said that you were doing such a good job managing that store that you have to go.
There was an opportunity that came, which a lot of people actually don't know this story. So before Boundless, I had a small store before that pretty much failed. So I feel like that's with
most
right,
yeah,
exactly. You all
100%.
start somewhere, you need
a stepping
stone. You gotta fail.
You gotta figure it out.
We had two unsuccessful cigar businesses before we started this.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, you gotta go through it.
Like Matt Ryan says, you gotta embrace the suck.
Yeah.
Gotta embrace the suck.
Amen. But so I ran a store for a while. There was a gym that was opening up, and he's like, I would love, for you to run this store. We'll go in business together. It was a pretty small setup. Just did like a shake bar, some supplements and stuff like that. And I was like, sure. I was so young. I was 20 years old, 19 going on 20 when this happened.
So this was out of high school. You didn't go to college?
I went to community college actually.
Okay.
So,
would you go for 2 years?
Yeah, 2 years. I actually wanted to go into law enforcement. So I was like, you know what? You just got to go to college for 2 years. I was never a student. You're like
a cold-blooded American, warm-blooded American through and through, right? Warm-blooded American. Because
the words of Tim Allen.
Yeah. I mean, everything I'm saying, this girl just loves America.
I do.
Guns,
love
powerlifting, country.
You walk in my store, there's no question who I voted for.
You're like, hey,
listen. You got a huge flag in the back.
You're like, listen, if you don't
I am
know,
who I am.
Yeah.
Like it or love it.
That's it.
I want to go back to school a little bit.
That's great. I love it.
Pick up some of the cues.
I just never was a student. I was just never enjoyed school. I just kind of, if you saw through a lot of the bullshit the school would try to put you through as a kid. And I was just never enjoyed it. And I was like, I want to go into law enforcement. This is just something I always wanted to do. I never thought I wanted to be an entrepreneur. Never thought I wanted to run my own thing. And then I just kind of had a change of heart where I was like, you know what? This is a cool opportunity. I'm going to take it. I'm going to run with it. I've learned a lot about business, from running someone else's business for a period of time because he was a lot removed from his. So I was like, let's do it. Full send, just go into it. So we opened the store. It was I believe September. I don't remember the year, but 20. I don't remember. Doesn't matter.
Before or after COVID?
Before COVID.
Before COVID.
Before COVID.
Because I do want to ask about how that.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm sorry. Before COVID.
Well, COVID was 5 years ago.
No, I'm sorry. I think it was a year or a few months after everything started
kind of opening
lightening
back
up and opening back up.
So maybe
it was a hard time,
2020.
Yeah.
End of 2020,
COVID,
early 2021.
I'm trying to remember. COVID happened when we had this idea and this gym was here, this business was here. And then everything got shut down. So everything was put on pause with this business for a while. Okay. So we were just kind of in a waiting period, of when we can open and everything. So we opened it.
Kind of fortunate in that aspect that you didn't, open it, let's say, end of 2019. You said, okay, 2020 is going to be great. We're going to start fresh. The year's going to be fantastic. And then boom, they shut you down.
Yeah.
So you kind of were ready to open it. And then this happened. You're like, all right, maybe we should hold off a second here. So you kind of got fortunate there.
So yeah, we opened it. And honestly, I was in there for probably 5 months. And it was just... It wasn't what I thought it would be. I was there, of course, and everyone tells you when you open your business, you're gonna be making all this money, and I was working there every day, 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. at night.
Where my money at?
You ain't gonna make shit.
I was so young, I didn't have experience, and I was just, almost sold this vision of what it would be in my mind. I told myself it would be something, and it didn't become that.
Not yet.
You know Andy Priscilla, right?
Yeah.
First Form. He's got a similar story like that where he lived.
He was running all those superstores for a long time before he developed First Form.
Yeah. I used to listen to him when podcasts were super new. This is 2017-ish. I just watched him because he was in your face, super motivational entrepreneur. Fuck your feelings. You gotta fucking get out.
And he was one of the first guys to talk like that on air,
which is great.
Which we love because now we can do that today.
And he had a crazy story.
It's so real though. It's so real. Success doesn't give a shit about your feelings.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Get up, get after it, get what needs to get done, do it.
Yeah.
Fuck you. You're tired. Fuck you.
Americans have a hard time.
You got kids. Fuck you.
Saying,
do it.
Layla Hermosi. You guys know Alex and Layla Hermosi. They're in. I don't know if you know them. They're big in the entrepreneurial world. They
Maybe if I
each
saw
have
a
a
picture of
podcast.
them.
I'll show you guys a picture. But she always says this, and it always sticks with me every day. It's fuck your mood, follow the plan.
Yeah.
Yes.
So like regardless of like how you feel that day, right? You had a bad day, you were crying, you just want to fucking pull the covers over your face. You can't, you know?
Yeah.
If you want to make it happen, you just got to follow the plan. Fuck your mood.
We got.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
call that the ship theory.
Yeah.
It's got a compartmentalize.
Compartmentalize.
Thank you.
Almost had it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
At least you didn't fuck
Thanks.
up her name.
No.
Yeah.
Listen, I am who I am. You know, walking in the store, know who she voted for? Me,
Yeah.
I'm gonna fuck up a word.
Which
I'm
we
gonna
have.
fuck up a name.
Right.
What are you gonna do?
We have a funny story about that. After you tell your ship theory.
Yeah, the ship theory. I learned this years ago. So it's literally a ship. How does a ship sink?
Yeah.
It has all different compartments, and the more and more they fill up with water, you fall underneath the water. So if you're on the way to work and someone drove almost into you and you pissed them off, fuck you, motherfucker.
Yeah.
You gotta compartmentalize that.
Yeah.
Put it to the side. Don't let it affect your day.
Yeah.
Your wife, your husband, boyfriend, whatever they call you, piss you off. You got something to do. You gotta compartmentalize. And
You
fucking
still
put that
gotta
shit to the side.
execute.
Because if you let all that stuff
Yeah.
build up in your ship, you're gonna fall underneath, get submerged, and
You'll never get
not
ahead.
accomplish what you need to get done.
Yeah.
It's like
So-
I've always seen the ones where it says discipline is greater than motivation.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, everybody's hunky dory, ready to go, and they're all
Yeah.
motivated. You see some motivational clip, and you're like, oh, I can jump through a wall. It's like, yeah,
Right.
but what happens when that motivational
Tony
clip's
Robbins
not
has a
there?
good.
Yeah.
He has a good
You know,
analogy.
discipline takes
about
over.
Motivation. I forgot. He said like motivation is like a almost like a what the fuck.
Well, look it up. Why
I
not?
never have motivation. This is what I tell a lot of my
Oh my
customers. It's
gosh.
like they're like, how do you train for this stuff like year round? And you go to the gym, you know, you're
Discipline.
committed,
Nobody,
and it's
wa-
like
nobody wants to. Like,
discipline. You know how many days I have more days that I don't want to go work out. I don't want to eat healthy, you know, like, but it's the
It's boring.
discipline.
Yeah,
You know, if you want something so bad, you're just gonna make it happen.
that's
You're-
right, Amanda.
Show
Absolutely.
up. Show up for yourself.
Show
you gotta
up.
do it. Like
Yeah.
I said, they don't give a shit about your feelings.
No.
Fuck your feelings, man.
Tony
your
Robbins
feelings.
talks about like motivation being like a hot tub, and in the moment it feels so good,
Mm-hmm.
and
gonna
then
look
once
it up.
once
Tony
you get out of the
Robbins
hot tub, then you kind of get back into reality. It's kind of cold, and you're like, oh man, I wish I
Yeah.
could go on that. Like some analogy like that where it makes total sense. Like
Yeah.
you can get motivated for like an hour,
Right.
then life comes in. You kind of where's that
Mm-hmm.
motivation go? It relies on discipline.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it doesn't. I can't find it. But
yeah, it's probably fucking stupid TikTok or some shit.
anyway, to go back to there was that funny story where you were like talking about, you know, if you don't.
Just keep an eye on your camera because I can't see you.
Yeah, I can see it.
Because sometimes it fucking stops recording.
We were talking
it
when
right
she
there.
was saying like, if you come into my store, you'll clearly know who I voted for,
Yeah.
right? So we have a funny story about we had posted a clip of when Trump the first attempted assassination, where we were like, this is freaking crazy.
Yeah.
Like this is, you know, regardless of who you're voting for, okay, this beautiful thing about America, you can vote for whoever you want.
Amen.
I
Yeah.
may not agree with what you vote for, and I may think it's a stupid decision, but that's the beauty of America. You have that right to do that.
Right.
Yeah.
And we posted that clip, and we were just talking about the fact that, listen, regardless of who it is, right? It could have been Trump, it could have been Biden, it could have been Kamala, it could have been Joe Rogan, it could have been Patrick Bet-David. Like, this is a big public figure and a big political public figure that somebody attempted to assassinate on live television. Like, this is a very, very big deal
Huge deal.
in American
Yeah.
history, okay?
Yeah.
Like, this is crazy. And then people were commenting like, I've been following you guys for 4 years, and I just found out that you're Trump supporters. I'm not listening to you
All you're
anymore.
doing is
Fuck
posting a
you, blah,
fact.
blah, 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 blah.
We're just
And-
talking about a current
You're
event.
talking
here's the
about
thing.
a current event.
And
yeah.
we said, like, listen, you know, we're talking about a current event.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, if it took you 4 years to realize, like, you know, that we're kind of on that side of the fence, then
Yeah.
listen, I
You
can't
just
help
gotta
you
listen.
there.
You just gotta listen.
I can't help you there. Okay, listen, it took you
Yeah.
that long to figure that out. Listen,
Yeah.
I'm cool with you being on that side. Fine, that's fine. Beautiful thing about America.
Yeah.
But like, for you to come back, like, listen, fuck you. You loved us. You loved us for 4 years,
And their view can change that quick.
and
based
just
on
because
that.
of the
Yeah.
one video, and you found out that you loved our entire personality the
Yeah.
first 4 years. But now that you found out that we were
Right.
Trump supporters, you're like, that's it.
Yeah.
Fuck you. I'm not listening to you anymore.
Huh?
Like,
I'm actually,
you're
that's
the
actually
problem.
very surprising.
Like,
I
you're
feel
the
like.
problem.
It was very top level. Like, wow, this is crazy. This is unbelievable. Oh my God, if he moved his head, we didn't say anything like vote for him. We
Yeah.
love Trump.
Yeah.
People were going nuts. But then on the other side, people were like, fuck these fucking snowflakes. We love you guys. We're so
Yeah.
glad. It was kind of funny.
But it was
Yeah.
crazy to
we don't
say
talk about
that.
things
I'm like,
political
listen,
stuff.
like,
Yeah. Yeah.
there's all of this good that you enjoyed with our show. All of this for the past 4 years.
Right.
And then there's this one little thing that you're like, fuck you, I'm not listening to you anymore.
Yeah.
You go, well, you're the problem.
Yeah.
Like you
They're
are the problem.
That's crazy. It's just so crazy.
You have all this good and this one little. You're like, that's it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even that bad because if it was Biden up there, we'd have been like, all right, well, let's talk about him. Like that's still a big deal.
Right.
It's still trending.
Yeah.
Fucking
regardless of
president
who
almost got
it
shot.
was. Yeah, it's a huge deal.
That's all it's about.
Yeah.
I don't want to go off on a whole.
Anyways,
yeah.
It was,
well, is this your first political episode then?
No, we didn't really talk politics. But like I said, if you don't know like who we voted for,
we actually had a guy
time,
who actually worked for the Trump administration on here
very
once,
nice.
but he didn't acknowledge that. We didn't know that until after. But
we don't talk about. We don't tell
politics.
people like who to vote for. But like I said, if you've been listening this long, and you don't have kind of a clue. Then
based on a conversation,
I can't really help you.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you have this idea to do Boundless Nutrition, but then COVID happened, so you kind of put it on pause.
Yeah, so I ended up opening a store prior to Boundless. It was not Boundless Nutrition, totally different name.
Is Boundless like a franchise, or is that?
No, it's just my own.
It's your own thing?
My own little baby.
Cool,
my own little.
Cool. What was the name before?
Foundation. Yeah.
Foundation Nutrition?
Foundation. Or just Foundation, sports supplements. So I opened it with my good friend, Anthony, at the time. I ran his store back in the day. We partnered up to open it in this gym. It was a brand new, beautiful gym in Bedford Hills, New York that opened. Long story short, like, honestly, like, we just didn't see eye to eye on certain things with how businesses run, which is totally fine. That's normal. Like, once you get involved with people, you really find out a lot about them.
Are you guys still friends now?
Yeah, now we are. Yeah, now we are.
Just like, listen, maybe we don't.
We just do.
Fine.
We do our own thing. We
But
stay in our own lane, and that's okay.
Honorable. That's what you're supposed to do. You're like, listen, we both have an idea, but we're kind of different on the way. So let's just walk away.
That's fine.
Instead of trying to go in and then getting pissed at each other.
Yeah.
And then,
so and you know what, like, with the gym owner at that location too as well, he just kind of wanted to do things his own way, and like, you don't know until you try. So it was a little defeating. You know, it was my first business, and I was like, okay, it didn't really go as planned. I remember packing that place up on New Year's Eve. Actually, I was like, I'm just gonna, like, I'm pulling out of this. You know, I want to do my own thing. I started to look for a new location, and it took me almost a year.
Damn.
So during that period of time, you know, I was really down. I was like, wow, like, you know, this whole thing that I changed my life up for, like, I was going to go into law enforcement, do all this. Do I still do that? You know, while I was searching for a new location, and it just took a while. And honestly, I am a Christian, and I will say that proudly on here.
Let's go.
Amen.
God is
Lord and Savior
my
Jesus
Savior.
Christ.
And, you know, someone in my family was going through a very tough period of time that, you know, I always think of this, like, if I had that store open, I would never be able to show up and help this person in what I needed to do every day. Sure. You know, so I viewed that period of time as like, God didn't want it to happen now. You know, he's going to let it happen at another date. You know,
Absolutely.
that's better. So I could show up for that family member and be
he
there
has
to
a
help
plan,
them.
and it may not make sense to you at the time.
Yeah.
There's I forgot the chapter. I had it in the thing, but he says,
I have plans for you.
He says, you don't know what I'm doing now, but you'll understand later.
I got the whole Bible app on my phone. I'll pull it out.
I will. I'm going to pull it out.
You have the Bible app too?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, yeah.
I read it every single morning.
I do plans every single day. Like,
I read it every single morning.
Good.
Every single morning I read it.
I know you guys would be clicking heavy between that and the powerlifting stuff. Because every time we meet, you guys are talking about crazy shit about naked this protein and steak and eggs and this. And I'm like, listen, I go to the gym and that's about it. I
I'm going to look it up.
My pre-workout and my protein.
I know. Is it a Jeremiah? No.
No, it is. I think it's in John.
Okay. That's a good one. I always tell people if they're starting to read the Bible for the first time, start with John.
Start with John.
Yeah,
that's where I
it's a
started.
really good one to start with.
That's where I started.
Yeah.
I'll find it really quick.
But yeah, I viewed that period of time as like, obviously you don't see things in the moment, you know, when you're in it, when you're going through it, you know. But, you know, now looking back at it years later, I'm like, you're able to view that from an outside lens of like, okay, now I see why that had to happen, right?
Sure.
So I would not change anything about it. I'm so glad it did. So then, fast forward, I found a location for Boundless in Pleasantville. I had no idea Pleasantville even existed, had no idea it was a town. You know, one of my good friends recommended, hey, why don't you check out Pleasantville? I think that was my giant water bottle has a bunch of amino acids in it. You just throw that right on the ground.
Good cup,
Are we
though.
surprised?
It didn't spill. That thing is heavy. That's like a 25-pound dumbbell.
That's right under the table. I know. I walk around with that. People look at me like I'm fucking nuts.
Yeah,
but
it's like when you have the gallon jug of water.
I used
like,
to be
you're
that
crazy.
person, and I used to put like blue, like aminos in it. It looked like windshield wiper fluid. People would be like, yo, you're fucking crazy.
Yeah.
But it's like another weapon in case you need to hit someone with it, you know?
You got to protect yourself at all times.
100%.
Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, especially that thing. That will knock somebody out.
That'll crush you.
That thing is... I was like, oh, shit, this thing's upside down. I got to put it in.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's all about the journey, right? It's not about where you start. It's about where you finish.
Yeah.
I got
it.
It's all
what
about
is
the
it?
journey.
I knew it was John.
It
was John chapter 13, verse 7. He says, you do not understand now what I'm doing, but later you will understand.
Yeah.
Nice.
And in the moment, I feel like that's so hard to believe, when you're going through something so difficult. And you're like,
so
hard. God, I don't get it. What the hell? Why are you doing this to me? And then
Everybody
it's
thinks
like,
that.
you'll understand why. You'll
I
get it.
I got to show you this. There's another one of, it's a meme of Sheldon from Big Bang Theory. And I don't watch Big Bang Theory, but it's a meme.
My parents love that show.
My dad loves it too.
Yeah,
My dad
love
loves it too. But there's a meme of him, and he's reading, maybe he's reading like a script, or he's reading some pages or something, and he's reading, and he's looking at it, and he's like, why? And he flips through, and he's like, why? And then he flips through again, and he goes, oh, that's why. And it goes, it's like me, like me questioning God's plan, and you're like, why? What? Oh, that's why.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's true. But yeah, then I opened Boundless, November 21. And I, to this day, I'm so grateful for it. Like I had to go through that to get to where I am now. And it's actually 3 years old. What date is it today?
Today's the 25th, 26th?
November 26th.
November 22nd is when I opened.
So you're 3 years.
So 3 years. Boundless's birthday. Yeah.
Let's do a little chin for the
Cheers.
3 years.
Cheers,
of
my
Boundless
coffee.
Nutrition.
I can't touch. I got water. It's been long.
Cheers.
Oh, come on, man. You got to put a little coffee in there.
No, I just can't touch the glass.
I know. It's bad luck. All right. So my
Russian.
question for Boundless Nutrition, right? So you opened up this brand new business. You got this storefront.
Yeah.
Now, how do you get people in it?
Yeah, that's the hardest part. People always ask me that.
I always feel like that's any kind of storefront.
Storefronts are hard.
Again, I don't know if you had any kind of following or
we
customers.
Previously did. I did have a lot of customers follow us over, but I didn't really have that many because it was you had to go in a gym to see I was there,
Yeah.
So it's all, honestly, I really busted my ass on social media, and building relationships, to this day, the thing that brings me the most value is doing collaborations with other business owners and, like Tony's events, going, meeting people. And like I said, it's about creating relationships with people first.
Sure.
Because they want to support you if they like you. My customers can all go online and buy the products, but like they come in because they have an experience and they enjoy it.
Like we said, they buy you, not the product.
Right.
Eric,
yeah.
So put the heater on
it's just, heavy branding on social media. Showing up to events every weekend, like I didn't have weekends. I still don't have weekends,
Okay. I didn't know.
And just, doing a lot of the extra outside work that people don't see, like when you're actually at the store day to day.
You got to put in what was it? You got to put in the
sweat equity.
Yeah, sweat equity. Sweat equity. Yeah. You got to put your feet to the ground and get moving.
Because I always feel like that's the
shake
hardest
hands and
thing
kiss
about
babies.
Yeah, brick and
storefront.
mortars are hard.
Yeah.
They really are, and it's hard to stay open if you're not like playing in all those fields. Like a lot of other businesses are like how do you get people through the door, like new people? And it's like showing up to new gyms, going to events and like giving people something, like
I see some videos you like make your protein shakes at the bar and then you go to the gym and you like surprise the guys like, yo, here's my gym. They're like, yo, this is fucking delicious.
Yeah. And it's just that, like I would have some of my friends, like in the beginning I had no staff, like it was me there every day, I would just have friends like come in, and all my friends know how to work the shop, which is great. They're all working Black Friday too. They hate me. They're like, they think I go crazy on those fucking days. They're like, you're so annoying.
You gotta though.
Yeah.
You gotta do all those sales.
And it's like just doing extra stuff like that, just meeting people. It's really just that, putting yourself out there and not being afraid to, like I remember in the beginning I was so bad at videos. I hated posting myself on social media, and I'm like, you know what, like any content you put out there, it's not bad content because people are going to see it, and that's the whole goal, for people to see it. So.
What I like
and nobody's going to like look at your, like if you're scrolling through, you always think about, I'm going to put this, people are going to think I'm weird, people are going to think this, but when you're on Instagram and you're scrolling through, do you ever click it, like you look at one of your friends, you go, oh, he's so weird.
Yeah.
No, you like it. You're like, that's freaking hilarious.
Yeah.
But like everyone else on social media is doing the same exact thing, and they probably think they're weird doing. That's why I would still be like, oh my god, I feel so weird. I'm not ready for the camera. I'm
imposter syndrome.
Oh yeah. I used to deal with that a lot too.
Yeah.
Because we started out taking pictures of just cigars, whiskey. I never had a face. It was just all like. And I'm like, I don't want to put my face on the camera.
And people want to see who's behind the brand, like
it's all about
people
personality.
really, really want to see who's behind it. And, just making it funny, being real, like we're not that serious at Boundless. We're a supplement store. Like, why be serious? Like, have fun with it. And
people want to see the face. So as soon as we started showing our faces on our Instagram and on social media, our accounts blew up.
Yeah.
Because people want to see the face. Because humans naturally are drawn to looking at other people and drawn to the people. They're not drawn to things. They're drawn to other people. It's the reason why, like, if you put a person in a room with everything that there is to have, but no people, versus put them in a room with all the people but no things, they want to be you can't be in isolation, regardless of what you have. You can't be in isolation for the rest of your life. People want people. So it's like when you put your face out there, people can connect with it. They can see your face. They can see the emotions. They don't give a shit about the things.
Yeah, it's all about connecting.
So at Boundless Nutrition, you got merch, you got a protein bar, you got supplements,
vitamins, health subs, healthy meal preps, protein shake bar. So all those good things. Yeah.
Now, do you have anything that's your own brand, or is it just you're like a storefront for a lot of?
We're a storefront, and we just carry, like, for example, First Form. Like, I'll order wholesale with First Form. We carry all those brands. Creating a supplement brand is a whole nother business.
And it's not
you did.
I will talk about that, but
I want to hear it.
That was a failed business.
Okay, you know what? Those usually are failed businesses.
Tried it.
I have
business.
a lot of friends starting brands, and I see what they go through. Like, I have a good friend of mine creating an energy drink right now, and it's been 2 years in the making. And it's just to get one flavor created. It's crazy.
Easy. The biggest thing too is it's like, okay, great. You and every other fart and supplement company has a pre-workout or has an energy drink. What makes yours different?
You know what it is? I tell all my customers, like, especially like a lot of these younger kids that come in and they see like Chris Bumstead and like all these pro bodybuilders that are very well known now.
What do they have? What are they on?
And they're like, what are they taking? I'm like, well, they're not taking that, sweetheart.
I'm like, you want to know what they're taking? It's called steroids. Yeah. That's what they're taking. Yeah. And people are like, no, he's all natural.
And that's illegal.
I could literally look at someone now and I'm like, you're not fucking natural. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. We were actually, it's funny. We were I was just talking about that with my wife the other day. About how there's certain telltale signs.
I was going to say, how do you tell someone is on steroids?
I feel like it's the structure of like their muscle bellies, especially with men.
Their muscle bellies,
like very, and again, I just feel like it's because I've been in the industry. I've been around a lot of these competitors and a lot of these guys. Thickness of veins and stuff in their arms.
I always feel like
we're calling some people out right now, but it's okay.
You see like one major vein in their shoulder right here. Right. I always feel like they're.
Or it's like their calves are like just. It looks like they have fucking blood clots in their calves.
You know what's
the
biggest thing too?
You're taking so much growth, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
you know what's the biggest thing too is I call them like the shoulder pads. When their shoulders are capped, like really round.
Yeah.
That's a sign. You can tell like somebody's shoulders when they're a little bit they come down their head and they go and their shoulders look like they're really rounded.
Right.
That's kind of like
and again,
you can't really.
I have a lot of kids that come in and like younger guys, and they're like, "Do you think this guy takes stuff?" And I'm like,
"Yes."
But I do tell them, I'm like, you know what? Like, I feel like a lot of people think with taking stuff like that, like it's doing all the work for you. It's no. Look at Chris Bumstead. These guys are still eating like 8 meals a day. They're pushing it in the gym, not just, done in 30
Sitting
minutes.
on the couch watching Netflix, shooting up steroids.
Their workouts are like till failure, like pushing reps.
You always say, so it's funny. I just had this conversation because for like a long time, I had one of my sister's friends back when I was like really like when I was single and I was powerlifting at my heaviest and I still powerlift now.
We got to talk about that. I want to hear about that.
But people they were like, one of her friends was like, Justin, I know you're on steroids. I go, well, I would love to find out how you know because you're not.
Right.
And she's like, no, I know you are. I said, please tell me, how do you know? Right. And she's like, because my boyfriend's on steroids.
That's a little ballsy, no?
Yeah, no, she would tell me, right?
She just called you. She's like,
I know. She goes, I know you're on steroids. I said, well, please tell me how because I'm not. And she goes, well, because my boyfriend's on steroids and you're bigger than him. I'm like, well, that you just kind of threw your boyfriend.
Genetics really come into play. I was like, well, that kind of.
I was like, that kind of sucks for your boyfriend. I said, because I just literally, I just eat a shit ton of food.
She just like really shit on her boyfriend there.
She did. I mean,
she put you out. She tried to expose your ass, and then she just threw her boyfriend.
She really exposed him.
Shit. Are they still together? Those people?
I don't know. This was
probably not.
This was like maybe 10 years ago. But I was talking to my wife. I said, there's steroids and HGH and all those those drugs,
Mm-hmm.
they're PEDs,
Right.
performance enhancing drugs. So they enhance whatever you do. If you sit on the couch and eat potato chips all day and don't work out,
Yeah.
they're not going to do shit for you.
Yeah.
But if you put the meals in like you're supposed to and work out hard like you're supposed to, they will enhance the results of that.
Yeah.
And most people think, oh, I can take steroids, I'm just going to get big.
They just think you can sit
No.
there and do nothing.
You're not.
Yeah.
You still got to put the work
you know, a lot of people come in and they do shoot the shit with me. You know, they do talk to me about stuff like this just because from being in this industry, like I know about it because, you know, growing up bodybuilding, like you're around a lot of people that are doing that, right?
Yeah.
And like you'll look at some of these guys and it's like they'll tell you what they're taking and I'm like, what are you doing?
Why are you telling me this?
But you're like 120 pounds soaking wet.
Oh, it's like that.
Yeah, it's like, don't you realize like you still gotta eat, you still gotta train, you still gotta apply yourself. Like you still gotta.
Do you tell them like, what do you got? Like what are you doing? Like you shouldn't do that.
I literally say that. I'm so honest with my customers.
Okay.
I'm so honest with them.
I love it.
We're really open there. We really have good relationships with people. So
Like you can,
Yeah.
like, listen, don't get me wrong. You can get pretty fucking big and pretty strong without drugs. But then there's always, like when you see somebody, you can always tell too, like how quickly they get big. Like
Right.
I know a guy that went from 180 to like 240 in 3 months.
Right.
Solid muscle. I go, you can't do that naturally.
Yeah.
That's not natural.
Yeah.
You know, I don't care how much food you eat. You're not getting
yeah.
50 pounds of muscle in 3 months. It's not
Well,
happening.
The good part now is like, you know, so I met Nicole, who you guys just had on the show, a couple of weeks ago through a lot of my customers. They were using her, going to her. And now I have that relationship with her where I can send people to her, which is great because I tell a lot of these guys that come in and they're telling me what they're taking. I'm like, yo, you're in your 40s, your 50s. Like you need to go check your blood. You need to actually see what's going on. You know,
Sure.
like you're complaining about low energy and like you can't get progress in the gym. You can't get gains. And it's like, but then you're telling me you're shooting random stuff you're getting from your buddy, you know, random amounts. And I'm like, go see someone that does this professionally.
Yeah.
So that's
gotta
when I'll
do it right.
tie like Nicole in,
Yeah.
which is so cool, you know, because I met her, you know, just through mutual friends and then you guys had her on.
Yeah. That's
But
wild.
that's when I'll tie her in. I'm like, go actually see a professional about this, you know. It's like, yeah, we do sell like testosterone boosters and stuff at the store, but it's like ashwagandha, maca, like natural herbs.
Natural stuff.
Yeah, which will help boost your levels to an extent.
Maca
right?
root actually is
Yeah.
really good for you.
It's great pre-workout. Like it definitely helps
You ever heard
wake
of
you up.
maca root?
Hell no.
Yeah.
I got no
Yeah.
fucking idea what that is.
It's just
No idea.
but that's the thing too is
Yeah.
like there's a lot of natural
Yeah.
things like look at a lot of like herbs and spices and stuff like cinnamon.
Yeah.
Cinnamon is actually very good for your immune
Yeah.
system. Maca root is just a plant.
Macaroons?
Right.
Maca root.
Oh.
It's just a
Macaroons.
plant that's good for testosterone, right? Ginseng is
Yeah.
a plant that's
Sure.
good for
Right.
for energy levels, right? And then there's a lot of you want to get B12 vitamins, you can get them in a lot of berries and all these things.
Yeah.
You get them in all these natural things. But some people are like, well, I don't want to eat like that. I literally want to eat whatever the fuck I want, and I'm just going to get it over here.
Right.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
better if you do it this way.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
more, and the other thing is it's more sustainable. Because how many times you see these guys that'll come in, they'll eat whatever the fuck they want, they eat crap. They do put some effort into the gym, some hard work, and
Right.
they're on steroids. Said, okay, now what happens? You're not going to take steroids for the rest of your life. What happens when you stop taking steroids? You deflate like a freaking balloon, and it's not. You can't keep that physical size.
Yeah.
You can't keep it. Said, but if you built it up for 5, 6, 7, 10 years of eating healthy, working out, and you've built that body, you can sustain that.
Right.
You
Yeah.
can't sustain it when you're on drugs. You
Yeah.
can't take drugs for the rest of your life.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you can, but it's
Yeah. Every day.
probably not going
Yeah.
to be that good for you. Your heart's probably not
But
going to
yeah,
like it.
I have some customers where I'm like, I can just tell, I'm like, yeah, you got to really go get your blood checked and go see someone like her. And, you know, because it's like you produce that. It's in your body, like testosterone, men and women both have it. And, you know, if your levels are super low, you're going to feel depressed. You're going to feel like shit, you know? So it's if you want to feel your absolute best, why not? You know, like if it's regulated by someone that does it professionally, you know? So that's when I'll tie her in. So it's
How much do you think cigars improve your testosterone?
I mean, cigars help reduce your cortisol.
Oh.
So
I feel pretty good right now. Tell you that.
Reducing your stress hormone and everything, that's going to help boost your testosterone. So that's why a lot of people have low tests, is because their stress is so high. You know.
Yeah,
so.
that's why you got to do, smoke cigars and work out.
How did
Yeah.
you get into cigars? I know
Drink
you said
whiskey.
your dad, but when did you
Yeah.
start smoking cigars?
So My dad, literally my dad.
How old were
you? I was college aged. And then we got into it very heavy during COVID.
Do you remember your first
So
one?
what made you like? So I you looked at the gym, looked at your parents, and I want to do that. Now you see your dad smoking cigars. What intrigued you?
My dad is like my best friend. I love him to death. He loves your show.
I think you sent us a picture of you and your dad smoking.
He listens to our show.
Yeah. So I sent him a few episodes, and he was like,
"Does he know you're on the show now?"
Yeah, he does. He's really happy. He's like, "That's awesome."
You should call him.
Yeah.
You should call him and get him on the show.
I should
call him. Fuck it, call him.
My phone's over there.
We can link him right in.
Yeah.
Hey, we'll say what's up to Dad.
But during COVID is pretty much like when we heavily got into it because there's nothing to fucking do, you know?
Yeah.
Like, we were training in the garage and stuff. Like
he trains too?
Yeah, he trains too. So now it's like I would put him through the workouts because I was, into competing and everything.
So what kind of training? I know you said that, he kind of got you into because he was working out. What kind of training does
Honestly,
he do?
nothing crazy. Like just goes to the gym.
He's one of those 80s guys. Goes in, does a couple of curls, couple of bench presses, gets the fuck out.
He's so fit. He's so healthy. He eats so clean.
As soon as he starts sweating, he's out.
No, he works hard. But yeah, it's just we've always been so close. And during COVID, there was like nothing to do. So we train and like my dad just started ordering cigars off CI, Cigar International.
Yeah, sure.
They had tons of deals. And he just started ordering a bunch of cigars. So I think my first cigar was Drew Estate. It was probably like one of their sugar dicks.
Sugar dicks?
Sugar dicks.
I don't know that one. What?
It was I'm pretty sure.
Amanda's smoking sugar dicks.
I'm pretty sure. Bro.
That was
the Drew Estate sugar dick.
That was
it
good.
Tabac? I'm pretty sure.
Tabac Especial.
Yeah. And I was like, these are so good.
Yeah.
These are great. Like,
Sugar
you have this in coffee. I would dip it in coffee, have it in the morning. Then we'd have another one later in the day, make a bonfire.
So you were smoking cigars all day.
We were
probably,
all day long.
I was probably like, during COVID, probably having 3 cigars a day.
Damn.
There's nothing else to do.
There's nothing else to do.
Nothing else to do.
So yeah, it was nice because I feel like it brought us together. It brought us closer too as well. Because really none of my brothers were into it, and then my brother Mike, the one who's you guys got to have him on the show. He's awesome. Now he's into cigars. The one who works out of the gym.
Brings families closer together.
Does.
Come on.
It does.
It's I don't know. It doesn't bring people. I don't know what something can bring people closer.
Yeah,
it really does. It really does.
But yeah,
so
it was because of him. So
damn. So what does your dad like to smoke?
Blueprints and Diligence.
I actually gave him one yesterday.
Did you smoke it yet?
Yeah, not yet. Yeah.
Well, we'll give you some goodies on the way out to get for you and your dad.
Awesome. But no, he likes Maduros. What else does he like? His favorite stick is a Fat Bottom Betty.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's a little sweet, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's a flavored cigar. I think that's a flavored cigar too.
Is that a Drew Estate one?
It's a Drew Estate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys are Drew Estate
We
fans.
love Drew Estate.
Okay.
You should. So if you guys like Drew Estate, they make the CI and Drew Estate have a collab called the Drew Estate Legend Series.
Oh, you love the Legend.
Those are good. That's the
I'm pretty sure he's had those before.
Yeah, I'm sure they're popular. It's like the only flavored cigar I like to smoke. It's a regular cigar.
Yeah.
It's like a Toro, but it's like it's flavored like hazelnut.
Okay.
It's super good. It's really, really good.
It's funny. Like all my girlfriends are like, oh, cigars. Like
I'll
start them off.
Funny.
I'll start them off with like the little mini tabacs.
Yeah.
And I'm like, guys, try this. I promise you'll like it. They're like, wow, this is cute. This is great.
I like it.
Yeah, I like it. It tastes like coffee. Yeah.
Yeah,
but,
you got to wean them off.
Because when we see you at the at the events, you come with all your girlfriends and
Yeah.
you're like buying boxes of cigars, buying this, and everyone's like, "What's Amanda doing?" You're like, "I fucking love this shit."
They're like, that's just how you are everywhere you go.
Like, it's kind of like they're over here and you're over here, and like, all right, let's let Amanda just do her thing. She's doing the cigar thing.
They already know.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
So tell us how you got into powerlifting, because it's a very, for people that don't know, powerlifting, squat, bench, deadlift.
And you go into competitions and you hit your max.
That's it.
So,
You're not trying to look the best.
Yeah.
You're just trying to be as strong as you physically can be as possible.
So backtrack a little bit. I competed in bodybuilding for a few years. Honestly, lost a lot of strength and I got really small. And like, unlike most girls who compete, who want to stay that way, I was like, fuck this. I want to put on muscle. I want to be strong. I want to eat. I just want to feel good. You know?
That's actually a thing that's funny. A good thing that you pointed out is when you're a powerlifter, you get to eat a lot.
You got to eat a lot.
You get to eat a lot more when you're a powerlifter. You can kind of eat like, I don't want to say you can eat whatever you want, but you have a little bit more leniency.
There was a point over the summer where I was eating like 2 ribeyes a day.
Yeah, you just calories.
Damn, 2 ribeyes a day.
Yeah.
Like with powerlifting, because you're not trying to look good. I mean,
right.
you're obviously going to look physically strong. You can't get stronger without putting on muscle.
Your goal, though, is performance.
But your goal is to be as strong as you can in those 3 categories. And it's about protein and calories. Like you need to put on.
You need carbs for fuel.
Yeah.
Have you ever been in a situation where you're eating and you're lifting weight and you just throw up like some of those people? I've seen people and they fucking do it.
Gosh, probably. I mean, I can't even remember. I've definitely thrown up actually like doing bodybuilding workouts. I feel like more.
Really?
Like the high rep leg days, those get you. They're really bad.
Yeah.
Gosh. I just did one 2 days ago.
Yeah.
My legs just...
Or where you can't see, like you lose your vision. That's happened a lot. I sound insane, but you just get so fucked up.
You're in the fucking zone.
You're
in the zone.
It's like when you're going for like a 1 rep max on squats, that's literally a come to Jesus moment.
It is.
You will see God
before big
when
lifts. I pray. I listen to worship music sometimes when I train.
Oh my. Okay.
You're gonna love it. I already know what this motherfucker's gonna say.
Oh my gosh.
What?
I want to play it for you right now. Have you ever heard of the band called For Today?
For Today, they're a metal band.
They're a metal band.
Yeah.
Have you heard of the song Fearless?
No. Play it. I'm excited.
I thought you were gonna say your analogy about squatting.
I'm gonna. Well, my analogy about squatting is I think that it's fantastic. My favorite lift is the deadlift. It always has been. But I think the analogy for squatting is it's like life, because when something heavy is weighing you down, you just need to stand back up.
Gotta get back up, man.
But I'm gonna play this song for you
For
because
Today.
it's called band's called For Today.
I'm trying to think of some
so
of their other
Justin
songs.
has his gym in his garage. So one day he was like, "Yo," because I was in the gym every day, 5:30. I was getting after it, and then my wife got pregnant, and we had a baby. Now I haven't been in the gym since like the spring.
We got to get you back.
I'm gonna be back there.
Yeah.
But I found the new love for squatting. I used to hate squatting, and now I started. I'm like, oh, I can do 185. I can do 225. I'm like Justin. If I can do 225 like 12 times, like 3. He's like, you can probably do 300. You got
definitely can.
You got to come over and we got to fucking do it. I'm like, 300, bro. That's a fucking.
We should have did it today, guys.
Well, not me. I wouldn't maybe not even do 185.
Sure could have.
But we were in his frozen tundra of just cold steel, and we're just working out.
And the garage, like the garage workouts
steel.
are so much like. When I was training in my family's garage back then, like the weights feel heavier. They're rusty. They're cold. Your joints are cold.
Yo,
like,
it's so cold.
If like whatever you're hitting in the garage, add 20 pounds to that in the gym.
I agree.
It's
I agree.
It's great.
Yeah.
So I'm like, Justin, you think I could do 300? He's like, bro, I know you can. I know you can do 300. I'm like, all right.
He's got a video of it.
So the first time we're doing it, and he's like, all right, bro, you gotta be on. You gotta have it down. You gotta just everything you got, just breathe out. I'm like, all right. So I do it. I just completely just fumble. I'm like, and I just fall. I'm like, fuck, dude. I just fucked
it
that
happens.
up.
Yeah.
He's like, bro, now you do it again.
Yeah.
Next time did it. I was like,
what I tell you though?
Did you wear a belt? Knee sleeves belt?
No, raw.
You just did it raw.
Yeah, raw dog.
Raw dog.
Raw dog.
Raw dog the squat.
What did I tell you? The second lift. What did I tell you to do?
You said we got it. When you're on the way up, you just gotta fucking breathe out and just let it all fucking out.
But before you go down, I told him, I said, breathe into your balls.
Yeah,
I said, take the biggest breath you could
if
possibly
you're not wearing a
take.
belt, listen, I don't know how that feels, but if you're not wearing a belt, I guess that's the best way.
I said, breathe into your balls.
It was a fucking great feeling.
I told him, I said, you got to take the biggest breath that you possibly can, fill your lungs up as much as you can, and then brace your core, right? Tighten your back, and then go down. And then on the way up, you can breathe out. You can go... And he did that, and the second lift was
great.
Flew up.
That's why a belt is great. Like people are like, "Oh, doesn't the belt do the work for you?" Absolutely not. It just
you have to brace into the belt.
You have to brace into it.
Yeah.
It helps you like brace into something. Mm-hmm. So it's gonna protect your back a little bit. It's good.
I do.
Yeah.
I used to, like when I was powerlifting a lot, I would do a lot. I use the belt a lot, right? And then I kind of felt like I was reliant on it a little too much, so then I backed away.
I'll throw it on when I like in my mind hit like a certain number.
Yeah, and I backed away, and I was like, all right, I'm going to start doing it a little bit more slow, a little bit more controlled, and then now if I'm going for a heavy set, I'll put the belt back on, but like I'll work my way up to it. Mm-hmm. But I want to show you this song. So there's
I want to hear it. So
let me get I got the video.
Let's see it.
Here we go. Ready?
This is
We gotta like put this on the camera so everyone can see.
Oh yeah, we'll put it up.
What are you guys listening to here?
Locked Up by Akon.
He was. It's funny because it's two
jail yard shit.
It's
my
two
boy.
completely different. Like we had a video of me beforehand.
There you go.
How easy that was.
You guys are. You guys are bros. I love it.
It was so,
I was fired up.
You guys
What was
besties.
crazy is it's
That's
two
awesome.
completely different styles of music. Like he's listening to Locked Up at Akon.
What do you listen to?
And then I listen to metal.
Me too.
Death metal.
Who's your favorite? Okay, this is a whole other topic. Who's
I'll-
your favorite metal artist, like band?
Probably As They Lay Dying.
Oh,
Probably.
I have a lot to tell you.
Probably.
I worked out with Tim Lambesis before.
Did you?
Yeah.
Shit. That's probably my favorite.
Him and one of his ex-wives.
That's probably my favorite.
One of his
very good
ex-wives.
friend of mine. Yeah, funny story. As I Lay Dying has always been one of my favorite metal bands, and I saw they were coming to the Chance in Poughkeepsie, which is just a shithole. Like, just you go in there and like you just jump in the pit. They do like walls of death, like which I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you know all that.
Yeah.
You'll have to look that up.
See, I was never
But-
the pit guy. I was the guy standing in the side watching
Yeah.
the drummer the entire time.
I would try to go in the pit.
I was a
would
drummer,
always try
so
to
I
go
was
in the
always
pit.
like, I don't give a shit about that.
And
I
all
want
of
to see what that drummer's doing. How's he doing on that double bass, man? What is he doing? Is
I
he
have some
crossing
good
his hands?
bands for you then.
Oh, I have a lot.
Yeah.
We can go into it.
But I
We can go
hit
into it.
I like me and Tim's ex-wife, I hate to say it, but his ex-wife now. Yeah, like me and her just always were friends in the fitness space online, and I saw they were touring here, and I was like, hey, do you guys want to hit a workout before Tim's show? She's like, fuck yeah.
Do
So
it.
I went and like picked them up.
Did you listen to all As They Lay Dying while you did it?
Yeah. I literally went to the Chance, picked them up like right outside of their bus. This is so funny. And drove
So
them.
like nonchalant.
Yeah, I drove them to World Gym in Pauling.
What'd you guys do that day?
We just like, we did legs.
Legs.
Yeah, we did legs. So we hit a leg day and then like got back in the car and then like went backstage, saw As I Lay Dying, saw Tim do his thing, and it was like incredible. It was such a cool show.
awesome.
Yeah,
I
they're
love it.
they're
That's
a
a
good
cool
band.
experience.
Yeah, they're one of my. They have two songs that after I play this one, I'll show you the other two songs.
5 seconds only. We don't want any motherfucking
I know.
copyright. Stupid ass YouTube.
So I'll tell you that my two favorite songs by them are at the time I have my metal workout here. And go away to the bottom. I have so much metal on here, it's crazy.
Yeah. So what Justin was saying was, when I'm going up, I'm listening to like DMX,
Yeah.
Nas.
That's where I started. And then
all
like
those
I
guys.
just got in when I started powerlifting, it's just so true. When you are starting to lift heavier and heavier and heavier, your music's gotta change.
I feel like you got to be like in a
you gotta
dark
find
place.
that
Yes.
you gotta find that dog.
Yeah,
that
you gotta find that dog in you.
That
I
dog.
love that. I love
so
that.
the one song
Yeah.
is "The Cave We Fear to Enter."
Love that song. That's new.
Is one of their newer songs.
Yeah.
And then let me go back to their other.
Through Struggle is a great
well,
one.
Through Struggles, yeah, that's
classic.
that's a classic one.
Yeah. 94 Hours. That's a good one.
The other was "My Own Grave."
My Own
is
Grave
another one.
is one of my favorite songs. It's
Love
great.
that song.
Yeah.
So, but let me
Yeah.
play you this one. So this is the For Today song. So this is a Christian metal band, and this song's called "Fearless."
You know, a lot of metal is actually faith-based.
Yeah, a lot
August
of it.
Burns Red.
August Burns Red.
Very,
is too.
very
As They Lay
heavy.
Dying is.
Yeah, he started that way.
Is
started
what
that way.
faith based?
Faith. So Christian.
Oh, faith based.
Yeah.
Faith
Where
based.
so they
if you
don't-
listen to their lyrics, it's actually very positive.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are like, "Why do you listen to that dark music?" And I'm like, "It's actually really positive." if you
So
listen to
listen,
the lyrics.
this
Yeah.
song, this song right here.
Yeah.
When I first heard this song, I said I wasn't planning on going like I was kind of gonna go heavy, but I wasn't planning on going like really heavy. It was gonna be like maybe like 5 or 6 reps heavy.
Uh-huh.
And I heard this song, I said, "Fuck it, I'm going for like doubles or triple. I'm going heavy. I'm going like another level." Because at the end of this song, their breakdown, they say scripture in the right before the breakdown. It says, "Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil because you are with me." And then it fucking drops, and I was like, I want to like,
send it.
I was like, I want to break through a wall right now.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna play
Isn't
it.
it crazy how like music can do that to you?
Oh, I think about that.
Crazy.
I think about it all the time. How
Yeah.
music.
Affects you.
How I can't remember your name, but I remember the whole lyrics to a song
Yeah.
that I've known for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Like, it's bizarre to me.
It's crazy.
So I know your name.
Yeah.
Obviously, but,
I was gonna say, what is my name?
Amanda. What? Amanda. I heard.
All right,
It's
so here we
can't-
go.
it
There we
can't
go. It's close.
be- You
Okay.
can't. I don't feel like you can't mess up your last name. I feel like it's
No.
very easy. Do people mess it up?
Herdman. People do all the time. I'm like,
Really?
How do you mess up
Herdman or
Herdman.
Herdman.
It's
and
2 words.
I'm like,
My last name is
I'm
different.
German. Herdman.
Are you German?
I'm German and Irish.
Oh no shit. You
Yeah,
got the German
50-50.
missile right here.
There we
I
go.
don't know why they call me that, but all right, here we go. Ready?
Because you're big German.
Big German. All right, ready? This is it. I fast forwarded it because I don't want to get flagged. But
Is this the part where it's scripture?
oh, it's so good. Ready? Okay. Ready? Let me back it up a little bit here. This is the breakdown. Ready?
We are not dismayed by the darkness that surrounds us here.
Listen.
Oh boy.
Listen.
I'm ready to run through a wall right now.
Ready? Right here.
Guys,
Ready?
we gotta
Here
go
we
rip some deadlifts
Oh.
right now.
If we stand and fight, we are not
Oh god. Unbelievable. Now we're gonna get copyrighted.
I love it. See, it's positive.
It says, "We will fear no evil, for you are near."
Turn that shit off now.
You gotta send that to me. I love that.
That's
So the whole breakdown, though we walk. So it says, right? It says, "I can feel the courage rising in the hearts of the sons of gods. I can feel a fire burning across the earth. We stand as one. We are not dismayed by the darkness that surrounds us here, because we know that when all hell closes in, if we stand and fight, we're not alone. Though we walk through the valley of the shadow of death, we are not alone. We will fear no evil, for you are near. We are the fearless ones."
I love that.
And
I'm gonna train that to that
dude,
tomorrow
behind
morning.
behind the freaking the metal music, I'm like, I want to kill something. I'm gonna run through a wall. It was so epic, and I was like, that's it. Put the weight on a bar. We're going.
Send it.
And it's just me in the garage.
Yeah.
Looking at myself in the mirror, screaming at myself.
Yeah.
What is it that you love about powerlifting? It's great.
I love the feeling of being strong. You know, like I honestly love the feeling of like being a girl in the gym and like throwing weight around.
What did you
throwing weight around with the guys?
What did you bench? 205.
205.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that your one rep right now?
That's my one rep right now. I competed at USA Powerlifting Nationals in Vegas 2 years ago. It was 215.
So what are your all time numbers?
All time deadlift was 415. All time squat was 359. All time bench was 215.
Dude, that's a hell of so 415 and 360 is what 775
almost at 1,000.
So almost at 1,000, which is crazy.
Yeah, my goal is to be over 1,000. I will be eventually.
That is crazy.
But it's just years and years of doing the same things. You know, like it's almost easier as a new lifter. It is easier as a new lifter to get progress. You know, than like when you've been doing it for years and years and years. You know, obviously you look better. I believe like if you are training consistently and you are eating well consistently, you do look better with age. You know, your muscles are more developed and everything. But it's harder to get like the strength gains if you've been doing it for a long period of time.
You plateau and it'll take you.
Like I'm trying to get past a certain point on bench for the past friggin' 3 years. You know, like it's hard.
And it's crazy because when you first jump into it, you'll add 50 pounds to your squat in like a couple of months.
Yeah.
And then now that you're 4, 5, 6 years in, to add 5 pounds to your squat will take 3 months. Like
it's crazy.
And then it also changes too. Like some days. Like you'll go in and you're like, all right, I'm gonna do a max day, and you go in and you're like, what the fuck? Everything I feel like shit. And then other days you go in and you're like, why does it feel so light? It's about how you slept,
what you fueled up with before, if you ate carbs, if you didn't have enough food, like all those things come into play.
Do you ever have days where you're going in, because this happens to me all the time? You'll go in and the plan for that day is I'm not gonna go heavy. Right? I'm just gonna do like maybe 8 reps. I'm going to do some volume. But then you get on the first or second set and you're like, I feel really good. Fuck the plan.
That's my problem.
I'm going like heavy today.
So I've been working with a coach. He's been my coach for a while, probably like 4 years. You know, we've been working together, and he knows me so well as a lifter. That is my toxic trait and my downfall is he's like, Amanda, even if you feel good, you really need to stick to the fucking plan today and not do extra shit. Don't go off program. And I'm like, but Andres, I feel so good today. And but yeah, that's the thing. If you are following a program, I really recommend to follow the program. Don't be like me.
And make sure you deload.
Yeah, please. It's important. Because
that's people that don't know what deloading is you can't just go balls to the walls every single week all day long.
Yeah, because you won't get progress, you know, and your stress hormone will go up, and your body will feel inflamed. Too. Yeah, so it's all important. But yeah, I have a lot of those days. I do. Yeah.
Do you you're in the gym, right? Do you have any stories about like guys like approaching you like, hey, do you want help with this? Or
honestly,
you're like, get the fuck out of here.
I feel like not anymore. Maybe it's just because I'm getting more scarier with age, right? You
ever rep out somebody's max?
Yeah, and it feels so good.
That's hilarious.
I hate to say it, but like
a guy's max.
You know what I love?
Like they're doing 315, and that's like your third set.
You know what I love? It's like, yeah, I just love it. I love when I'm benching, and I hate to say it sounds so mean, but like, these guys probably think, oh, she's just going to stick to the 25. And then I take it off. I put a 45 on, and then I keep adding. And the guy next to me is like, oh, fuck, I got to keep adding more. I've definitely seen that where guys are next to me and they're adding more weight.
Yeah.
Or especially on deadlift when it's just like, okay, you pulled 225. And she's like, all right. Yeah. And then you put on another plate and you're like, now you're at 3 wheels.
It's just fun.
And they're looking like, oh, wow, she lifted 3 wheels. Yeah. And you're like, put on another one. Goes, fuck, this girl's lifting 4.
You know, and it is your ego. It is your ego, but that's all right. You know, it's fun.
But that's the thing too, is it's like it is kind of fun, but at the end of the day, you're just trying to beat yourself.
I'm just trying to beat myself.
Like what is my number? Like I have it in my garage. I have a little chalkboard.
Yeah.
And I just write like squat, bench, deadlift, overhead, front squats. And because front squats are they're technically overhead and front squats are not part of the big 3.
Yeah.
But
front squats are more CrossFit.
Yeah, I put them in there. I put them in there though because front squats they're very hard. They're great for your quads. They're great for your upper back too. Yeah. Because you have to engage your lats to keep the bar up there.
Yeah.
But so I'll just put it on there, and I just like, all right, these are the numbers, and I'll just like cross it off and be like, all right, this is what I got. And sometimes there's like multiple numbers because it'll be, all right, I got this weight for 7 reps. Mm-hmm. I got this weight for 4 reps. So I don't really know which one's better. Yeah. We'll leave them both up there. And then the next time you go, I'm like, all right, that's what I got for 4 reps. Add some more weight. Can I get it for 4 reps? Great. Erase it, put the new weight on there. Yeah. And you just keep track of what
it is about just really beating yourself. Like, you know, like when I compete, I don't really look up the other lifters. I don't really care what they're doing. You know, like, obviously it's great to win. Love winning, right? Like, love when you do well. But like, I just care about, am I going to come in better than I did last time? You know, that's really the only time I'll compete is if I know I'm going to come in better than last time. Or
am I going to beat my numbers from last time?
Yeah, exactly.
Am I stronger than I was last time?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, there was a time where I felt like every time I would go on social media, there was like women yelling at men for like women would record themselves, and then guys would walk by and then make a big deal out of it.
It's so annoying. So annoying.
Like you're recording yourself in a public.
They're like, what are you looking at?
First off, the way
my question was like, how do you feel about that? But
if you're in a gym and you're practically wearing no clothes, and I'll probably get shit for this, but like,
no, say it because we say it all the time.
Men are men, like, you know what I mean? Like, I fucking look, if you're wearing, like, you know what I mean? I'll look at you and be like, oh, she has nice legs, she has a nice butt, whatever. It's normal. We're all humans, you know. And if you're setting up your camera purposely in a crowded gym, of course you're gonna have people who are in the background looking.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Obviously, there are creeps in gyms, you know, and like, there's a time and place where you do yell at them and you just tell them to fuck off, but most of the time, like, people aren't weird.
I felt like a lot of it was for clout. I felt like
a lot of people I've noticed online do it just for attention. You know, that's what a lot of this industry is. It's a lot of attention seekers.
Well, you know what also doesn't make any sense too is because they'll post a video of themselves wearing the tightest leggings ever.
Yeah.
Wearing no top, just a sports bra. And then they'll take a video and they'll say, this guy was a creep looking at me. But why are you posting workout videos of yourself doing bent over rows in a thong?
I'm doing back day today, and it's a picture of their ass. It's like a whole video of their ass.
Why are you
there's a girl had a great online. Bicep pump today.
Like, you're clearly posting it to get the attention, but you just don't want to have them physically look at you. You want them behind a screen.
It's just such an interesting time we're in.
There's a girl on Instagram. You've probably seen her videos, but she does exactly that, but she makes fun of it. She's like a fit girl, goes to the gym, and she's like, okay, guys, today watch me do my back lifts, but look at my ass. And
we're gonna do back, and then it's just like there's like she's doing lat pull downs, but it's zoomed in on her ass.
Listen, I'll say it's tough to be a guy in the gym right now because you know, like, you gotta look everywhere. You gotta look for cameras, and it's just everyone and their fucking cameras now. You know, like
that's why I got the gym in the garage.
There you go. You're
just
safe.
Me in the mirror.
You know what? It's funny because when I'm in the gym, when I would go like 5:30. So there was always like a 5:30 a.m. group. Right. And then you go like 6 a.m. But like I always felt like it's weird. Like I walk by, I see a guy working out, then I see a girl working out. I feel like I have to do like I can't look at the girl working out because it's like I don't want her to think I'm like creeping.
You got to go completely to the other
side.
So it's like,
this guy's going ham right now, and then there's this girl right next to him, and I'm like, all right, I can't pay attention to her because she's probably gonna think I'm a creep. Yeah. It's like weird. Like I don't want to feel like you know, I'm gonna be like exposed.
The other thing that was wild too that people just couldn't understand is like when I was going to the gym, you'd have your gym friends that they were the people that would always go at the same time as you, and then you had the people that were kind of in the same, like powerlifters as well. Like I knew a couple of people that were still powerlifters. Some people were like kind of more Olympic lifting, but what was weird is that you'd have when people are trying to go for a 1 rep max, and they would ask for a spot, right? How do you spot a squat? You're supposed to stand behind them and you kind of squat down with them, but you have your arms underneath their armpits, so they're coming out like here, and you're holding their chest, right? And what happens when they're squatting up, you're trying to help pull their chest up a little bit so that they don't fall forward, because a lot of times people stick their butts out and they fall forward and they collapse, but you're trying to keep their posture and you try to help them up a little bit. Now, if you're a girl who's squatting and they ask for a friend, hey, there's nobody else in the gym, can you help me for a spot? You're like, where do you put your hands? You got to spot them the same way, but you try.
Amanda, where do you put your hands?
I feel like if you're asking for someone to spot you.
You should know the territory.
Yeah, no, it's also like you should know what's going to happen if you're asking someone to spot you.
Right,
correct?
That's what I'm saying. That's my point. Is that people are like,
also,
why you got to squat her? Like, why do you got to spot her? Like I said,
that's how you spot.
That's how you spot. Like, why do you got to like what? You try to put your dick in her ass? I'm like, no, I'm spotting her. She's trying to go for a 1 rep mat. Like, why do you have to be so sexual about it?
Yeah,
she's trying to go and she needs help.
Yeah.
If it's a guy, I'm doing it the same way. You think I'm going to put my dick in a guy's ass? No, I'm spotting him because that's how you're supposed to spot them. And then, okay, maybe it's a girl. You're not putting your hands on her boob, but I'll put it like on her ribs. Or maybe like, if like, hey, where do you want me to spot? You want me to go on your ribs? You want me to go on your elbows? Where do you?
I feel like that's the right way to approach it. Like,
and they're like, no, just spot my rib cage. And you like hold the ribs, you hold their stomach, you try to help them up. And people are like, why do you got to spot her like that?
Sometimes I remember, like, I really don't ask for spots anymore because I do train with people, or I know what I'm going for. I know I'm going to hit it, right? Yeah. Like, unless I'm going for a 1 rep.
Or you're just like, listen, I'm just going to drop it.
Yeah, you just throw it off your back, which you got to learn how to do. You got to learn how to do that. So usually I'm good, but like for bench, I will always ask for a spot. And I do ask random people sometimes if I'm not training with friends. And I ask people, I'm like, this is how I know how to tell if someone knows how to spot or if they're just going to fuck up my lift and grab the bar. Because I used to have a lot of guys just grab the bar and I'm like, I had that. Can you stop? Let me struggle. I'll be like, do you know how to spot for a bench? And if they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, you don't know how then. Like you got to ask things and you got to communicate with people. That's all it is. You know what I mean? So
like
avoid that.
I used to spot with my fingers. I wouldn't even like touch the bar. I would be like, I would spot with fingers and they're like, listen, I'm going to, or like I'm gonna go for 3. Yeah. I'll be okay. Like,
so you don't grab it. Don't try to grab it.
So you can get this. You're just gonna try to go as many as you can. So they would get 1, they would get 2, and the third one they would come up and it would kind of like shake. It would kind of get stuck. Yeah. And I would just give it a couple little taps on the bar, just a little taps to get past the sticking point, and then they'd be able to lock it out. Yeah. But so many people, they see that first sign of struggle, they just pick it up.
Yeah, that used to happen to me a lot.
You just robbed them of all their gains.
I would yell at my spotters. I'd be like, stop. I'll tell people, do not touch it. Yeah. And if I'm shouting, then touch it. If I'm like, grab it, like, then grab it.
Yeah, don't touch it.
Yeah.
Like, because
it fucks up
the first 2 aren't where they gained muscle. It's the last one that they were really struggling to push through that rep. And if you just rip it off their chest, you ruined all their gains.
Yeah.
And that they're never going to get that set back. You have to be able to just give them a little tap. And if they can get past it, right? And so or you like if you can have your hands on the bar, but like you just like I would go like this a little bit. I would just a little bit.
It's all mental.
Just a little help. Just a little help. Or if sometimes they would come up like this and then it would immediately drop down. Okay. Now I'll help. Okay, 1 through now I'm going to get it off your chest. But some people, you can tell they're in that sticking point. And they're like, little tap, tiniest little tap. And most of the time, I won't even tap it. I'll just be like,
How many times are you going to say tap?
Like, but you know what I'm saying? It's like, it'll get in that sticking point, right? And just the mental of them thinking that you touched the bar, they got through the sticking point. And they're like, did you touch it? I said, I didn't touch it.
Yeah.
And they go, really? I said, I literally didn't touch it. I just put my hands there and you thought that I was going to tap it, but I didn't tap it.
Nah. Tap it.
But here's another thing.
Oh.
Okay, so how do you spot on a deadlift?
How do you spot?
I don't think
when
you
I
can.
compete, so there's people like standing behind you. Obviously not like a squat, like grabbing.
No, but I'm saying like how
there's
do you?
People standing behind you just in case, because a lot of the time some people might fall back a little bit, or if you're lifting really heavy, you could get dizzy and pass out.
But they're more to catch you if you fall, but not to help you get the weight
But
up.
there's really no spot on a deadlift. That's why I love it.
You got to get it up. It's either you get it up or you don't.
Or you're fucked.
That's it.
Fuck around and find out.
There is no spot. Like you can't with the bench, right? You can say like, okay, was that all me? Oh yeah, and everybody's gonna say it was all you. Meanwhile, they kind of helped you a little bit.
Yeah.
Squat, it was all you, but the deadlift, it's either
is just
you or it's not.
It's you and that bar. That's it. Yeah.
So Amanda.
Yes.
Warm-blooded American. You love guns.
I do.
I know. I'm gonna have a feeling that you got into the love of guns from your dad.
Actually, no. More so from my brother in the military. Yeah. So my brother in the military, he was a Marine for 4 years. Got out and he was like a marksmanship instructor. So
no shit.
He knows his shit.
Sure shot.
Yeah, he knows how to shoot. And then he got out and then he decided I want to go back in. So he's now in the 82nd Airborne in the Army. He jumps out of planes for a living.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he's a savage. And funny story about that.
Thanks for his service. We appreciate that.
Yes, so cool. He's coming home in 2 days for literally 2 days.
Oh, awesome.
Quick turnaround.
For Thanksgiving.
Yeah, for Thanksgiving.
Oh, that's great.
But funny story. Now he jumps out of planes for a living. When he graduated high school, me and him are like 2.5 years apart. I got him a gift and I was like, we're going to go skydiving. We're going to jump out of a plane. And he was like, okay. So he just said, okay, sure. Like, whatever, we'll do it. Like, we're like best friends. We do everything together. So we're there and we're like going up in the plane. It's a fucking sketchy plane. This place in New York. The guy who he's jumping with had like a rainbow mohawk, just looked like a crazy
Probably did
person.
it 100 times before that.
Yeah. And we're up in this sketchy plane. I'm like, how is this thing even getting up? Whatever, it did. And he was like first in line to jump. And like, they're like, you want to push him out? And I was like, yeah. So I just pushed him out of the plane. His eyes, there's a video of him like shitting his pants.
Let me tell you something.
Like, you know what? Look at what you do for a living now because of me.
Yeah, I would say the same thing.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
You should tell that story.
Yeah.
Be like, listen, one day I was on a plane with my brother. We got into an argument. I fucking had it.
I pushed you out, motherfucker.
I pushed him out. Like,
Yeah.
no, you didn't. Like,
Like
you want to see the
the
picture?
gladiator
Here.
kick.
Fucking push him out.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the
gladiator kick.
Yeah.
This is
So-
spot.
So what is the need for jumping out of planes all the time? Like,
Because it's fucking cool.
well, obviously that's given. but
So
like,
for his job,
yeah.
so he's a paratrooper. So think about this. Like, say you're deployed, you're in a different country, whatever, you're going out on a mission. Like, you need to get into places
there's
that
there's no airports
can't
or
land.
flying
Yeah.
planes.
you don't want to drive cars, you know, like you don't want to attract a lot of attention. So that's like when paratroopers will be sent in. Like if you're dropping into a zone that's
Like the middle of the jungle.
Yeah,
You
like
can't land a plane in the middle of the jungle.
yeah.
Yeah.
You're dropping into suspect areas that are sketchy and like
Now, how do you
you
get
got to
out?
do it secretive.
How do you get out? That's the question.
I don't know. You guys got to ask him. You got to have him
That's
on.
what,
Yeah, you gotta get.
what's
You gotta
the
get
term?
to the.
What's the term? There's a
Yeah, you got to get to the rendezvous point, right?
that's like
Yeah.
my Call of Duty, like
Yeah.
the rendezvous
Yeah,
point.
it is like and you know
Granada!
what? He played a lot of Call of Duty growing up. So Call of Duty and Grand Theft Auto. And
Did you ever see that video of the guy, the
Damn.
guy that has his the relays in his car for his windows gone out?
Oh yeah.
So he's pushing the button and it doesn't go like when you
It's
push
like
the
a
button.
1996 Toyota Camry.
Yeah, he goes, my relays are gone out. My automatic windows, so it sounds like I'm at Vietnam. And he pushes the button. It's like frag out, Grenada.
You got some good sound
Fucking
effects.
hilarious.
No, that is a good video.
You
That
close
is a
your
good
eyes,
video.
it sounds like he's in a war zone.
So what do you like to shoot?
So I have my concealed carry, so I carry every single day, which I
Nice.
think it's so important for everyone to have.
How long did it take you to get that in New York?
You carrying right now?
Yeah, I am. It's in my bag. I shouldn't say that, but it's in my bag.
I don't care. This is
Honestly, New York the process is a little wild. You have to take a 3-day course, 18-hour course, which, I mean, it's kind of good for people that really don't know much about firearms because it does go over a lot of safety, but it's a lot of, like, extra fluff and bullshit, you know? So you got to do that, and then you need references and everything. So it's a long process.
And the references cannot be family.
They can't be family.
And they have to be in the same
And they
county.
can't be law enforcement, and they have to be in the same county.
Yeah. I have
Oh,
a friend.
they can be family and they can be law.
They
enforcement.
can't.
Oh,
can't.
They can't be law
So it has to be,
enforcement.
it has to be non-relatives, non-law enforcement.
Yeah.
I have a friend that just asked me to sign for him and his brother, long-time family friends.
Yeah.
And I was asking, I'm like, oh, so he goes, well, it has to be same county. He's like, I just moved to Suffolk, so even if he goes, I can't. He goes, I can't go to your parents. They're in Nassau. He goes, I have to go to you.
Yeah.
And I was like, sure, no problem. And
Yeah.
you sign it off, and it's basically like a reference saying that this person's not mentally
You're not
ill,
insane. Yeah, they're just making sure you're not insane.
They're not a
Not
felon.
that, not that I think you guys would know, but my question would be: now, one was if you are insane and you kill somebody, and they go, "Well, let's look at the references." Like, what's the point? Like, they're gonna go to Justin and say, "Well, you said you can get a gun." You know, it's like
No.
No.
that's what I don't think. But I'm
No,
like, what's
they
honestly, what's the point?
No,
You know, it's
nothing. Yeah. I don't
It's
know.
like that's like you know when you like when you pay your credit card at a restaurant, you sign your signature. That signature don't mean shit.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, I could sign your name.
Yeah.
I've signed other people's name before. I've signed Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck,
Yeah.
Bugs Bunny.
They don't know.
I've just
They can't
signed
tell.
random
When I
shit
used
they
to
don't
fail
care.
tests, my mom, God bless her, was very gullible at one point. I said, "Mom, can I see what your signature looks like? I want to see, compare it to mine." And she gave it to me. I was like, "All right, thanks." So anytime I failed the test and I get it signed, I was like, "All right." It worked every time. So, guns you like to shoot?
Yeah, so I carry a SIG. I love SIG. It's a P365. Little mini one, fits in your hand. It's great. That's my everyday carry. I love ARs. I love shooting 5.56. Those are fun.
American.
I actually love shooting ARs better than handguns.
They're fun.
They're
really
fun. They're just
really
fun, you know. But my brother, he gave me a shotgun as my birthday gift when
Hell
I
yeah.
was, I think
Love
I was
it.
like 16. Yeah.
I love it.
Listen, we didn't grow up in this area. We didn't grow up in Westchester. We grew up in Pauling. Okay.
Yeah.
Like,
what is that? That's
it's like farm towns. Like it's a small area.
Putnam County or is that Orange County?
Putnam/Dutchess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right on the border over there.
Yeah, right on the border. But yeah, like it was normal for our neighbors just to be firing off rounds in the backyard, skeet shooting and riding quads and stuff like that. It was fun.
I have a house up in Delhi, and
yeah.
I mean, that's what we do. We got 22 acres. We got quads. We got shotguns.
That's
it's the
freedom.
Best.
You know, that's where you go get peace of mind.
Oh, no doubt. No cell phone service.
It's great.
We do got internet, but that's about it.
Yeah.
And, you just go out there to vibe and relax.
But he got me into it, and then also like I feel like I kind of did a lot of research. I got into it on my own. Like. I don't know. I just really like the sense of, it just gives you an extra sense of security. Obviously, you hope you never have to use it, right? But like as a female, like, like leaving my store, like, going places alone, like.
Especially for a female, I think that's even more important.
For sure. It just gives you an extra sense of security.
Like it's unfortunate. I mean, I guess it's a double standard, but like a guy, walking home alone,
right,
is at less risk than a female walking home alone.
For sure.
Same area, same area. And everybody's like, "Oh, that's not the case. I'm a strong, independent woman." It's like, no, you're a strong, independent woman, and you'd be like, "Listen,
you're still a target.
You're a target. Like it's a double standard.
A 300-pound guy coming, nothing you can do.
Yeah,
think about it from the criminal's point of view. All right, is he going to go after a guy who's a same person? Guy who's 5'10", 180 pounds versus a female 5'10", 180 pounds.
Right.
Which one's he going after? Of
course.
Yeah.
From a criminal standpoint, like it's an easier target.
Yeah.
Right.
And I
now, granted, the female might be bigger, stronger, whatever. Like it's.
But at the end of the day, you're still a target.
But at the end of the day, like it's 9 times out of I would say 99 times out of 10, the male is going to be bigger and stronger than the female. Average male is bigger and stronger than an average female. It's just biology. That's how it is.
And it's like if someone comes in your home with a gun, like, what are you gonna do? Call the cops? Like, listen, I mean, but like,
you can try.
You can try.
You could try to come to home,
but it's like you are the person that no one's coming to save you. Like, you are the person that has to save yourself. You gotta rely on yourself in a situation like that. And it's like, I never want to be that person, where you're just stuck. And like, I tell all my friends, I'm like, you guys should apply for your concealed carry. It's so important.
How long does it take?
Couple months. It really depends.
Oh, really? It used to take years.
It really depends.
Not anymore.
Yeah, I also have something called a Utah permit, which I really recommend people to get. So a Utah permit. A Utah permit is not just your concealed carry in Utah. It's just called a Utah permit. It's your concealed carry in another. I think it's like 30 something extra states.
Wow. Well, that President-elect Donald Trump.
Yes.
Is trying to make that Utah permit valid in all 50 states.
Yes.
Oh, really?
So saying if you have a concealed carry permit in any state, you can bring it across state lines and they'll have to honor it.
Yep.
Interesting. Yeah. What states doesn't it cover right now, as of now? Do you know?
Pretty much all the East Coast.
Let me
like
guess.
New
California,
Jersey,
Colorado, Washington,
we can just
DC.
Guess the states,
just look at the recent voting board.
Those are the states. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I like shooting shotguns. We have I think it's called like a up and over, or it's a
side by side or over under.
Over under, yeah.
Okay.
Over under. So it shoots either shoots in the
do
bottom.
You guys do a lot of skeet shooting and stuff like that up there? That's fun.
It's fucking so cool.
That's so
and
fun.
we just started doing it. Like we never, because I'm my oldest out of 2 other brothers, and my house is owned by my father, my 2 uncles, and at one point my grandpa. So my father's side, it's all boys. So we only just did old boy shit.
Yeah. That was me my whole life growing up with all boys.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
Yeah. So that's why I like all this stuff.
I was going to say, your brothers and your father definitely have played a heavy influence on you.
For sure. Yeah.
So
that's right. I feel like we've talked about tobacco. We've talked about firearms. We just got to add alcohol in here, and we'll cover ATF.
And we got tattoos.
And this entire episode will be demonetized.
I love. She's got the whole sleeves. And you got the nice watch, and then the nice red long nails. So it's like
you gotta make it feminine.
I like the sleeve. That's
Thank
nice.
You.
Nice.
Thank you.
Nice tat.
How long?
I want so many
what's
more.
What's the amount of hours on this arm?
Actually, I had 3 separate artists work on this, which is crazy because it all looks like one. My dad is just a freaking savage. He signed for me when I was 17 in Florida.
Love it.
To get my first tattoo, I did 3 roses, which were for my 3 brothers.
Okay.
I've just always loved artwork. Ever since I was a kid, like I just always looked at people with tattoos. I was like, oh, that looks so cool. Like I admired it. I always really loved art. I looked at it. I used to love to draw and everything, and I just admired people with tattoos. I'm like, I can't wait to do that one day. And my mom was like, don't do it. And then I remember my dad signed for me. And
what does your mom think about that?
They just know it's a part of me now. Like, you know what I mean? They just know it's me.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's
there's
like,
Amanda.
in the beginning, like, she's like, you want that? I was like, yeah, I do. So a friend of mine, Marissa, she actually did this in Florida. And then I got this done years later, added to it, and then I just finished my hand.
So what is it? You got roses here. You got
roses here. I got skulls,
and then
more flowers, just a lot of floral action going on, and then I just finished my hand with a nice rose. So,
is your middle name Rose?
It is. Yeah.
Look at that. Put it together.
And then
put it together.
my mom, it's a funny story. Like, I was 18. I started getting tattooed pretty young. I am obsessed with like Japanese artwork and stuff like that. So I have a huge Japanese tiger on my side. It took 12 hours, the whole outline.
Really?
Yeah, the whole outline took 12 hours. I remember
I'm sure that felt great.
Horrible. And I did it when I was on prep for a show, so I had no fat, which is a horrible time to get tattooed. I would never recommend it. I come home and my mom's like, I don't even want to fucking see that right now. And I showed it to my dad. He's like, that's really cool. So
I have a buddy
I feel like you went to your dad often for a lot of these things.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Don't tell your mother.
I have a buddy that is down in the Carolinas, fully covered.
Okay.
Right, fully covered, except he's not. The last time I saw him, nothing that can't be covered. Wearing like a suit.
Right.
Now, he doesn't wear a suit. He's in construction and stuff.
Right.
But he doesn't. He might have had his hands, but nothing neck up. Like he's not on his face or anything like that. Nothing neck up.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have any of his hands, but everything else is pretty much covered.
Yeah.
He's like, I think he always jokes. He's like, I think the only spot I don't have is my balls. Pretty much everywhere. But he said the most. So I always ask him, what's the most painful spot? Mm-hmm. And I was like, is it your side? Because we heard it's your side. He goes, honestly, because the side was not. He's like, there's 2 spots. I'll tell you. He goes, my collarbone. Mm-hmm. It was because I literally felt my entire.
Oh, I'm sure.
He's like, you just feel like everything's shaking.
There's nothing there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And he says, I'll give you 3 spots. He goes, my collarbone was the worst. Mm-hmm. Brutal. He says, the top of my foot, because there's
bone.
Because it's straight bone.
Yeah.
Right? He says, that one hurt. He goes, but another one, he goes, it didn't really hurt because of like the actual location. Mm-hmm. He goes, but because of the position I had to stay in forever. So he has on the back of his elbows, he's half German, half Irish. So he's got a German eagle on one and the Irish clover on the other. He said, but I had to like have my hands. It's
just an awkward position.
He had to be like, I had to like bent over and have my arm up like this for like 2 hours. He goes, it was such an awkward position that it was so uncomfortable to stay like that to get it tattooed.
Yeah.
And he goes, it wasn't the physical. He goes, it was just so weird.
Position.
I'm like, yeah. It was so weird.
It's funny. My artist tells me, he's a good friend of mine. His name's Brett. He just did my hand. And he's like, it's so funny. Like all the guys, like they just can't sit. Like the pain tolerance of the tattoos is so different than the women. And he says it's just a fact. Like a lot of other artists I know have said the same. Yeah. I don't know what it is.
I think because women birth children. So their
pain tolerance.
Exactly.
The pain tolerance is.
You guys are like, oh, a little needle tracing my skin.
Yeah.
Shit.
Because now I have a 4-month-old daughter. So now anytime like I'm hurt, my mom's like, you got no idea what pain is. Don't even give it. She's like, this is my baby, and this is my big baby, my husband. And I'm like, fuck. I'm like, sorry, my neck hurts.
They've always said that, like, I don't know who they is, but you've always heard the thing where it's like women can handle physical pain, men handle emotional pain better than women. Women are very emotional creatures.
Yeah, I could see, for sure. Yeah.
But then women birth children.
Right.
It's like that's one of the most painful things ever. Yeah. Although I have heard the joke, which is pretty funny, where they say getting kicked in the nuts is more painful than giving birth. And people are like, there's no fucking way. He's like, yeah, but he goes, I've always heard women saying, yeah, I want to have another kid, but you never hear a guy saying, kick me in the nuts again.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's pretty funny. I was like, I don't know how true that, but like, it's pretty funny.
That's great.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's
I guess because there's no reward for getting kicked in the nuts, right? You have this beautiful child. It's like, I will go through that again to have another beautiful child, but there's no reward. It's not like you get kicked in the nuts, beautiful child.
Here's a chocolate bar.
You get kicked in the nuts, you can't have more children.
So what's the next latest?
By the way, we've been an hour and 22 minutes.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's actually a lot shorter than I thought. I thought
we got plenty of time. Let's rock.
All right, let's rock.
Fucking A. I feel like we're just getting started.
Let's do another.
Yeah, I'm about to light up a blueprint.
I got to do a blueprint.
I will.
Oh, speaking of blueprints, you had a sick photo shoot.
I did.
Smoking a blueprint.
Hell yeah.
Tell us about that. What was that for?
So that photo shoot was just pretty much like, I hit up my friend. I was like, yo, I just need some like professional headshots. Like all my professional pictures are of me in a gym with like chalk all over me and deadlifting. So we just did like a little photo shoot. He's a great photographer in Westchester. I think you actually know him, one of you guys, Silvio.
Yeah.
Photography by Alfonso.
Sure.
Yeah.
They did my wedding.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. And then my sister-in-law is good friends with one of the girls that's a photographer over there. What do you mean?
Put that in the
okay.
But yeah.
God, I can't remember her name, but she works for them. She works for them, and they did the videography, the photography for my wedding.
That's awesome.
Oh, they did it.
It's just a small world.
I know.
Westchester's small.
And then I just found out your friend Christina,
right? Give her a shout out. She's my girl. She owns an Electric Shock boutique. Everyone check it out.
Yeah.
Electric Shock.
She actually
go and get yourself tased.
She's maybe we have a taser at Boundless too. So my staff,
I
tell them, literally the first day when they start, I'm like, hey guys, if anyone comes in here, this is the taser. This is the store taser.
Use this first, and then my shotgun's in the back.
Taste first, ask questions later.
No, but she actually goes to a lot of Tony's events with me too. So you guys have probably met her.
Are you guys going to the next one?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'll be there next week. Yeah, it's gonna be a good one.
Is it next week already?
Next week, I know, it's crazy.
Can we get the cigars?
Next
I'm
week.
sure it's coming on Saturday, I think.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
It's like an online women's clothing boutique. So we do a lot of collaborations together and stuff. And
yeah, because it was funny because I saw her and I was like, oh, this is her friend Kristen who I met in September, and I clicked and it's like 20 mutual followers. I'm like, who? Yeah. And it's my brother-in-law or my sister, all my sister-in-laws, my father-in-law, my wife. I'm like, my cousin-in-law. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, do you guys know? Like, yeah, I forgot how they know each other.
Yeah,
but they all know each other, and it was like, oh, it's such a
small world.
So really quick, you're talking about this is totally sidebar. You're talking about women's clothing.
Yeah.
Are you by any chance a book and or gamer girl? Do you read any books? Do you play any games?
Not really games. Books.
Are you a bookworm?
Books. Honestly, like I just started getting into again. Like the thing is, like I used to read literally just to fall asleep at night.
Well, the reason I bring it up is you mentioned women's clothing.
I read a lot of like devotionals and stuff like that. I read my Bible app.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Is like, we actually did an episode last. We were talking about what's like the best books, and our guest had asked, "What's one of your best books ever?" And I was like, "Best book ever written is the Holy Bible." Yeah, in my opinion. But my sister has, so shout out to my older sister. Mm-hmm. She has Loot and Lorem Emporium. It's her Etsy shop, which is for bookworms and gamers.
Awesome.
She had all sorts of bookworm gamer clothing and stuff.
Love it.
So that's why I had asked if you were. But that's a quick little shout out to my sister.
Quick
little plug.
Love it.
So where were we just at? I forgot where we were.
Yeah, sorry, I went on the side note. She said clothing. I'm like, oh, I told my sister I'd mention her on my show.
Where the fuck did we leave off?
Oh, Silvio.
Alfonso. Let's talk about guns and lifting.
So your professional photography with Smoking the Blueprint.
Because it's me, you know? Like, I was like, you know what? Like, I'm going to have fun with this, you know? Like,
which we also have a sick photo when you were wearing all red when we just dropped the Diligent.
Yeah.
At the last event, I was like, well, we got to take it.
You know what, Amanda? If you want a side hustle, we've been thinking about it. We're thinking about, like, at weddings, right? They have, like, cannoli guys. They come with cannolis.
Yeah.
I want to do, for parties, weddings.
We want to do.
What'd I say?
I want to do. We're a team. You know,
we want to do. Sorry.
There's two people to this, brother. Okay.
Sorry.
I. We.
Sorry. There's no I in team, but there's an I in win.
Yes.
Okay.
That's exactly it.
So there's an ME in team too.
So they have like cannoli guys. They got cigar rollers and all this stuff at weddings and parties and all this and that. And I said, what about a cigar girl at weddings, at networking parties? Mm-hmm. Have a girl, dress her up, and she has the tray, and she walks
around with the cigars.
She hands out the cigars. She cuts and lights them.
Yeah. Listen, if you guys ever need help, I'm in. So.
Well, we talked about like with
I said I need to find a girl that would do that.
Yeah.
Well, we talked about with the wedding.
Pay for your travel. We'll pay for the night.
And I know a lot of people too that would do it if I couldn't make it. So.
Perfect.
We'll talk.
That's the best way to do it. Yeah. Like think about it at a wedding, right? We've had cigar tables, and you set your table up, right? And people come and they'll grab a cigar and they'll go off and smoke. But some people don't ever make it to the table because they're busy talking to people, having a drink,
and walk around,
and then next thing you know, cocktail hour's over, and they go inside. Like they had cigars, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
But if you have a girl, that has just like you go to a casino and you see the girl walk around, smoke cigars, cigarettes, cigar, right? You have a girl like, hey, listen, I'm gonna give you 10 blueprints, 10 diligence. Just walk around and see if people want them.
Yeah.
And like if they do, cut them, light them. We'll give you a little thing. They can give you a tip, right? Be like, listen, it's included here. Would you like one? And then when you're done, you just come back and you'll be there for 2 hours, no problem.
Love it.
My
It's a good
mother-in-law
idea.
actually gave me that idea because she said that. She says, "Remember the old school girl cigarette?" She goes, "You need to have a cute cigar
It
girl walking
reminds
around."
me of oh my god, one of my favorite cigar lounges is the Carnegie Club.
Oh, that's our spot.
I
That's our
love the
spot.
Carnegie
That's our
Club.
favorite
When
spot.
you said that, I just thought of the Carnegie Club.
That's our
Yeah.
spot.
Because it's like old school Manhattan. You know, they have the Sinatra Saturdays.
Ooh,
I love it.
yeah.
I love the Sinatra
That's
Saturdays.
So good. It's so
We
good.
had an
And I'm
event
pretty
there.
sure they used to have that. I don't know if they still do. I haven't been there in like a
They
year.
still do.
People walking around, girls
Yeah.
walking around.
Oh, that
like,
I don't
yeah.
know.
No, they do.
Cutting,
They do.
lighting, like yeah.
They don't
And
walk
it just-
around with the tray, but they'll walk around with like cutters and lighters. And if you order a cigar, they'll help cut it for you. And they'll.
Yeah.
But see, that adds to the experience too, because I've seen a lot of
Because what
cigar
party
like
wouldn't want
weddings.
that?
I've seen a lot of weddings you go to, and they'll have the cigar rollers. And in our opinion, most of the time when people are rolling those cigars need to be very moist in order to roll them because
Right.
the tobacco needs to be pliable for you to mold it into the shape of a cigar.
Ah.
And then after you roll a cigar, you have to let it sit, and then it has to acclimate. It has to lose a little bit of its moisture to bring the humidity level down. Then it's okay to smoke. If it's too moist when you smoke it, it'll go out on you. So a lot of times at weddings, you'll have these guys that are rolling the cigars and then handing you ones that they just rolled.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, it's a
Yeah.
fresh rolled cigar. And then it tastes like shit.
Yeah.
So I'm saying like what you would have is you see these guys that'll just give you a cigar and they don't even like look at you. Half of them don't even speak English and they're just rolling a cigar and they give it to you and you have to go cut it, light it, and then it's a piece of shit.
And a lot of people at weddings and stuff like that, they don't know what the hell they're doing.
Right, and they don't do
Yeah.
that. But if
It's
you
like
have
usually their first cigar.
Right,
You know,
but
that's
then
usually
part
where a
of-
lot of people have their first cigar.
part of that whole experience, like what we try to do is when somebody comes up, first off, we're not rolling the cigars. We're like
Yeah.
this. We're not a cigar roller. We're a cigar vendor, right? We'll give you cigars ready to be smoked. And when they come up, we'll say, hey, what would you like? Would you like a straight cut, V cut, punch cut? And they're like, oh, I don't really know. Here, let me give you a V cut. It's great. Cut it. You toast it for them. You put it in their mouth and be like, hey, here, I'm going to finish. And it's like a whole,
It's
they
an
feel,
experience.
they feel, I know, I say that.
You're
They
creating an
feel like
experience.
they feel a little bit like upper echelon because
You're catered
somebody's
to.
lighting the cigar for you.
Yeah.
You feel like, oh, I'm a freaking boss.
You're
So
being
now if you have
catered
a
to.
girl
Yeah.
that's going around as well,
Right.
so like, hey, let me cut that one.
What guy, right, who has his dad's 60th birthday party in their backyard with 50 guys? Who wouldn't want to have a cigar girl there? Who want to be all macho? They're going to be tipping her
I
up.
would want a cigar girl at my party,
Come
walking
on.
around lighting people's cigars. Yeah.
Hey, can I take a cigar? Sure. What do you want? And you have a girl cutting
And you know
it
what? I
elegant.
have to say, if they're trying to sell too, they're just gonna buy it from a girl.
It's hey.
Yeah.
Well, that's another thing too.
I
Is
agree.
it's like you go around and you tell them like, hey, listen, would you like one of these cigars?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, if you want more, the booth is right over there. You can go if you like this cigar, go over there. You can buy a 5-pack of them.
Yeah.
Be like, hey, this one's on us. Smoke this one. If you like it, go get some more.
Yeah.
And then it draws them over to the booth, and then
Yeah.
they meet the people behind the cigar. Like if you'd like to meet the makers, they're over there.
Girls are just so like, and I've observed too with my retail store, like with sales, they just my girls just fucking kill it.
Yeah,
They crush it.
Forget it.
It's
Especially
just,
in male-dominated industries.
Yeah.
Listen,
Forget
yeah.
It's,
I mean,
sex
like, what do you want?
sells.
What do you want? A guy making your protein shake
No,
or a
sex-
girl? Like,
Hey, bro, you
sells,
want
man.
cookies and
do you
cream in
want
that?
do you want whipped cream on your shake?
Sex
No.
sells. The guy.
Yeah.
That's why the female bartenders make more money than the guy bartenders because guys
Hey, we're
guys
gonna- we're
think
gonna-
that if they can tip a little bit more to get,
We're gonna do a
They're
test.
not
Ready?
gonna, they don't want to turn down a sale. They don't want to, it's just truth. Like, you know what I mean?
I'm
They're
sorry,
not really
that's-
going to say
that's the
no.
reality.
We're gonna do a
Listen.
test.
Yeah.
Ready? Justin's at your cigar bar. Ready? I'm gonna
Okay.
say, and you're gonna say after me. I'm gonna say, Justin, you want whipped cream on your protein shake?
Exactly. Yeah, I'm gonna be like, fuck you.
Now let's hear
Yeah.
Amanda say it.
Justin, would you like whipped cream on your protein shake?
Put the whipped cream on the shake.
Yeah.
Fucking
There
overload
you
that
go.
bit. Come on.
It's so funny, like, because we do, like, at our store, like, the presentation is really big with the shakes and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
our shakes are so healthy, but if you look at them, you're like, that's a fucking milkshake. And that's the goal. I like, literally advertise it as, like, we're the healthiest milkshakes in Westchester. But they're protein shakes. They're
Yeah.
not milkshakes.
They do look fucking
But
delicious.
we do, like, whipped cream on it and everything. And, like, whatever. We dress them up. And, like,
You have like a
everyone's-
chocolate drizzle around the
yeah,
cup.
it's sugar free. Okay, whipped cream's like 2 grams of sugar. There's really nothing in it, and it's so funny. Like when we're like asking the guys, like, do you want whipped cream on their shake? And they're like so embarrassed sometimes to say yes. They're like, whatever you think,
just make it.
however it comes.
Do I gotta
Like,
call? Do I have to say
does
whipped
it-
cream? Or
if it comes like that, sure. Like just say you want it,
Yeah.
bro. It's okay. Like
Yeah, they don't want to be
yeah,
judged.
yeah.
It's funny the story about your pictures with the blueprint because
Yeah.
you sent them to me, so I put them on my phone. So one day my wife was looking through
Yeah.
my phone for a baby picture. She's like, Eric, can I have that baby picture? She's like, yeah. I'm like, yeah. Here's
Yeah.
my phone. She's going through and she's like, Eric. I'm like, what? She goes, who's this girl? I said, oh, that's Amanda. I said, she's put professional pictures with the blueprint. She goes, are you sure? I said, yeah, look, zoom in. There's blueprint.
Blueprint
like,
right there.
She goes, oh, okay. She's like, what are you using it for? I'm like, I'm going to use it for promo. And she's like, okay, sure. Just checking. I'm like, fuck. And I was like, whoopsies. I can't wait to tell Amanda this because I'm like, it's like cute baby girls.
Amanda smoking a cigar.
Girl smoking a cigar. What the fuck is going on here? And I was like, no, it's blueprint. It's good promo. I'm like, it's girl smoking our cigar.
It's funny. Silvio, who did the pictures, I was like, you know what? Like, we took a few like real professional pictures. Let's just start smoking a cigar. Let's just throw this in there.
There's sick pictures.
We've had a couple of photo shoots where we take some sick pictures.
Yeah.
Smoking a cigar and stuff.
Yeah.
But what sucks is that on social media, smoking cigars is frowned upon, which is wild because it's like, listen, we're an adult account. We literally say this is not for kids. This is an adult hobby, and you can have girls that are flashing their ass all over the place, and it gets thousands and thousands and millions of views. But these professional photos that look fantastic in a nice 3-piece suit, smoking a cigar, the smoke's climbing up your face. It looks fantastic. You post it, demonetized.
Really? It gets flagged a lot?
It gets flagged all the time.
That's crazy.
All the time.
On Instagram,
it's like some of the shit I see on the feed. I'm like, how is this even allowed? But
and they're like, I'll show you. They're like the most badass pictures of all time.
Instagram used to be really okay with us putting up cigar pictures, videos, and whatnot. And as of recently, we've been getting notifications like, oh, your profile cannot be
like this,
like advertised.
That's such a sick picture.
Who
took
photo.
That?
This is one of our boys, Lorenzo.
My friend
That's
Lorenzo,
awesome.
Right? And they took like a whole bunch.
Did you guys do those here?
No, that was at a lounge in
lounge?
Jersey.
Lounge in Jersey. And
What's
they
it
look
called?
sick.
What's the lounge?
The Leaf Lounge, I think Milton, New Jersey.
Like, look at these. They look so sick.
That's sick. Yeah.
You post it, flagged.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And,
which is why we're going over X, because X you can do whatever the fuck you want.
You can do whatever you want.
I like Twitter stuff.
Here's my shotgun.
There you go. It's pulled right up.
I have a Mossberg 590.
Nice.
Sick. Anyway.
Don't fucking come near this fucking place.
Sick.
We should have
did. It's a 6+1 with a 6-shot side saddle, which is like fucking. They call it a side. It's like a side little. I guess it's a side saddle.
Yeah.
It's on the side of the gun, holds 6 extra more.
Saddle.
But listen,
no, that looks sick.
It looks sick, right? But honestly, like if you miss with the first 6 shots, you don't deserve the next 6. Okay, like you miss your target with the first 6.
Stop.
It's
Get
actually
some
7. It's 6+1 in the chamber. So if you miss with those 7, you don't get the next 6.
You don't get the
deserve
next step.
those, okay,
You don't deserve to
you don't
use those.
deserve the next
No.
6.
You deserve to get what's coming for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Unbelievable. So Amanda, my question for you is, I think I started asking this and we got off topic.
This is the only question you had?
No, I always got questions, but I'm
Always got
I'm always
questions.
inquisitive.
Another question for you.
What's the next thing for Amanda? What's the next thing for Boundless Nutrition? What do you got in the works?
So what I got in the works, next thing for me is I have powerlifting competition in 2 weeks.
Nice.
So I've been training for a little bit.
What's the goal? What are the goals?
Honestly,
what are the numbers?
This one, it's kind of like a little warm-up meet for I'm doing nationals in the spring.
In New York?
And it's in Georgia, I believe.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
so usually for those ones you got to travel a little bit.
Now, what are the like national, like somebody in your weight class that would win nationals? What would they put up? Would they get
these
to
girls
1,000?
are fucking strong. I go
Some of
there
them
and
are
I get
fucking
smoked.
Like what's
some of these girls are like 500-pound deadlifts.
what's the girl? What's the girl? What's the girl?
Steffi Cohen.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
dude.
what happened to her?
Bro, I don't like.
I heard she
I don't know, but like 5 years ago,
she like just disappeared. I heard she got arrested. I heard she like hit a cop or something.
dude.
or-
This girl, Steffi Cohen,
she's like 4'8",
Dude,
like 120 pounds, deadlifting
like 600,
and squatting like I think like 5 something.
ridiculous.
Yeah,
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
and I think it was sumo, which I don't really care. I deadlift.
it's still fucking.
You still gotta get the bar off the
crazy.
ground.
You still gotta get
That's
the bar off the
fucking a lot of
ground.
weight.
Yeah,
Here's the thing
Yeah.
too, and I know we went on a little tangent.
Yeah.
You're trying to tell us about Boundless and everything, but
yeah.
you know how much shit I get for like sumo.
You pull sumo?
I pull sumo because one, I'm a tall guy.
Have you ever tried conventional?
I can
Okay.
do both, right?
Okay.
I'm stronger with
Yeah.
sumo, okay?
Yeah,
Which is a little bit more.
I think sumo is honestly more technical and harder.
it's
Because
harder.
it's like a lot on your hips.
Yes,
it's
I have
just
strong. I
So
have,
technical.
I have strong hips and a strong butt.
Yeah.
So which sumo is
Yeah.
great for. The stronger lower back and quad
I
dominant.
used to do sumo too, and then I switched.
But I switched to sumo.
and then I grew up.
Yeah, see, I get a whole lot of shit from it too. But I'm like, listen, I go, you still got to pull the weight up, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now with sumo, it's much harder to get it off the floor, but it's easier to lock out.
Yeah.
If you can get it off the floor, then you can lock it out. But with conventional, it's easier to get off the
Harder
floor,
to lock it out.
but to get it past your knees to lock out is much
Yeah.
harder. So there's pros and cons.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
It's a shorter range of motion for sumo,
Mm-hmm.
which is why I do it because I'm taller. But it's whatever. Like if you're a little bit more like lower back and quad dominant, you can pull regular. If you're a little bit more like hamstring, glutes, and hips, you can pull sumo. But I get a whole lot of shit for it. But I'm like, okay, you want to give me shit? Go ahead.
You go ahead and try it.
Pull sumo. And they'll be like, oh, I can't do it.
It's hard.
What's sumo? Just a position of your legs?
It's a wider stance. So think of like you're like a sumo wrestler. Like your legs are just wide.
Yeah. I've seen you do it before.
Yeah.
Okay.
And conventional is just like your legs are closer together.
So
you're pulling straight up.
Shoulder width.
Yeah. You're pulling straight up.
So it's more conventional. Your hands are outside your knees.
Yeah.
And you're using more just like a squat stance. With sumo, your hands are inside your legs and you're more wider stance.
Mm-hmm.
Two
totally different. Yeah.
But anyway, you get a lot of shit for it. So
yeah, but it's just competing this year.
Okay.
I took 2 years off actually of competing. I just had so much going on with the business and everything, and I'm like, you know what? I just want to get back into it again this year. And like that's the thing with lifting. You know, it's like it's longevity. You know, like you want to really make sure you're recovering, you're taking seasons off and stuff like that. But a lot of powerlifting this year. A goal of mine I'd love to get involved in the next year is the tactical games. I don't know if you guys ever heard of that before. So think of let's blend powerlifting, CrossFit, and shooting all in one.
Okay, I was gonna say, does it have to do with shooting?
Yeah. It does. So like,
holy shit.
Yeah, I would love to do it. It's still kind of new. I had a friend of mine. He actually owns Iron Vault in the gym we were talking about in Scarsdale.
Oh, okay.
Off Grey Rock Road. He did it, and I saw him do it, and I was like, that's cool. I really would love to try it.
So how does that?
It's a lot of like think of like tactical training. You know, it's a lot of like sandbag training, sleds, deadlifts. So think of this like you'll go rip 15 deadlifts off the ground, and then you'll go and grab your AR-15 and shoot a target, and then like jump over something. And
while your legs are like,
and it's like, you know, you got to control your breath. You gotta have a steady hand to shoot your shot, hit that target, right? So that's something I definitely want to get involved in. So I need to spend a lot more time like actually range training.
And your adrenaline's probably pumping.
Yeah, it's the hardest thing is to calm down your adrenaline when you're doing stuff like that, you know. Yeah. So
which is hard. That's what like Marines and the military they'll do is one of the things they teach you on is, or they train you on is controlling your breathing. Like when you're during training you can, and I haven't taken this. I'm not a Marine, but we've talked to plenty of people, and they say that during training, you can't replicate that same amount of adrenaline that you'll get in a life or death situation. So it's like you can, you know.
What's that saying where it's like slow is smooth? They always say it.
Yeah, slow is smooth, smooth is fast, smooth is quick, or something like that.
Smooth is fast. Yeah.
I say that. We say that in golf a lot.
Okay, you golf?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
golf.
I got it. That's something I got to learn. I'm gonna start next year.
Oh, it's great for
Come on,
scars.
let's go. Let's
come
hit the
on,
greens.
like we get in freaking Tony's event. I didn't golf this year.
Come on.
I just went to the cocktail hour.
Next year,
and
be our
ripped the
third.
cigars.
Be our third.
But they say like the same thing. Like you got to control, because that adrenaline that you have in a life or death situation, you can't replicate that.
No.
Like it's not like somebody can say, "Hey, if you don't make the shot, I'm gonna shoot you." Like you can't do that in training.
Yeah.
What I think is wild, like with the budge training and all that Marine stuff, is like when they're in the water and they're all linked arms and the waves are crashing into them and they can't unlock. That shit's fucking.
It's all mental.
Crazy.
It's none of it is physical.
I love Jocko Willink. You guys know him. Yeah, his book Extreme Ownership. His podcast.
We had Ray Kashkar on. He's a Navy SEAL, former Navy SEAL, right? Navy SEAL. Yeah. He was on the show. What the show was? What was the show? What a fucking show on History Channel. It was a show on History Channel, but it basically took 30 regular average Joes and they put them through budge training. And they just see who can
made it.
There was, I think, there was like 3 people that made it.
Wow.
But Ray
Any background in anything like training or
if they
like
thought that they can do it, he's like, all right, let's see if you can do it.
I mean, there was like athletes and stuff like that. You know, people who worked out who were in good shape, and like half they'll quit like the first 2 hours of it. You know, like the first episode was like running up a hill, and I was like, I'm fucking done.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, the fucking thing just started.
I feel like it's all mental. I feel like it's all mental.
It is.
It's just telling yourself, like, listen,
you could your body really won't quit. Like, your brain
mental.
quits first.
Yeah.
You know?
It's mental, but I feel like it's
no, it's physical for sure.
You have to, I don't know how to explain it. It's definitely mental, but it's like, you have to know it's a mental game. Like your arms are falling off your arm, right? Your body, right? To have the mental capacity saying like, I'm not giving up yet. Mm-hmm. Like that's like a whole nother level of thinking.
I think there's
it's insane.
I forgot. I think there was a study.
It's like a David Goggins type.
Yeah, there's a study where they say that when you get to like a limit and your brain is trying to tell you like this is your limit, you still have like 40% more.
Yeah.
And it's like telling your brain to shut the fuck up. We still got more.
That's all
to go,
David Goggins says,
right? But your body is telling like, no, we're gonna cut it off, and you have to tell your brain, to be like, no, we still got more in the
tank.
That's
that's the part I'm talking about. That's like the section of mental toughness that you have to. You gotta find that dog.
That inner dog.
You gotta get that dog in you because like I said, you're holding up shit and it's like, holy fuck, my arm's gonna fall off. I have to give up. And to find that fucking dog in you that's gonna say, I'm not letting go.
My brother talks to me about stuff like that all the time. Like I forget one of the trainings he did. It was like, oh God, I don't even remember. It was like a 4-day thing. Like you're in the woods. Like you have no help. Like you're not allowed to talk to anyone. You have a compass for navigation, which I could never fucking do. There's no way.
No iPhone app for
and
compass.
It's like the winter in North Carolina. So and it was snowing. Like it was cold. Like it gets cold there. And like he told me like you're like hallucinating towards the end. Like people are walking into trees. You have frostbite. You think your toes like have to be chopped off. Like it's crazy. And he's like, you just keep going.
Just keep going.
You know.
That's what I love about the powerlifting is because like when you're in those sets, like there's always that one set, right? Like with powerlifting, you're working up to that last set. Yeah. We always say last set is the best set. And like when you're going into, I used to do Jim Wendler's 5-3-1. Have you ever heard of 5-3-1?
No.
So 5-3-1 was a workout where it was a 4-week cycle. It was squat, bench, deadlift, and the first week was 3 sets of 5. Okay, and the last set it was you could do, they called it boring but big, which is like you just come in, you're doing squat, bench, deadlift, right? Monday will be squat, Wednesday is bench, Friday is deadlift, and boring. You're gonna go in, you're gonna do 3 warm up sets, you're gonna do 3 heavy sets, you're gonna do 3 like cool down sets. You can get the fuck out. But then there's a lot of the accessory stuff if you want to go a little bit more. But the first week was 3 sets of 5, and it's percentages. I think it was 65%, 75%, 85% of your 1 rep max. And the last set, it was 5+. Try to go as many as you can. You do that for squat, bench. The next week is 3 sets of 3. And you go, it's 70, 80, 90%. And again, the last set is as many as you can go. And then the third week is set of 5, set of 3, set of 1. And that was 75, 85, 95%. So the last set is 95% of your 1 rep max, and you have to do 1+, as many as you can. Then the fourth week was a deload. And then if you hit the plus, if you've got more than 5 reps, more than 3 reps, more than 1 rep, you add weight the next cycle and you do it again.
Smart.
Add weight to your 1 rep max, recalculate, do it again.
Yeah.
But I think that mental, like you gotta push through.
Yeah.
Is that you got that dog in you?
Yeah.
Is on those last sets.
Yeah.
Those last sets where you put on, you have to do 5+. And you got that 3rd rep and you're like, fuck, this is heavy. And then you get that 4th rep and now you're struggling and you're like, I got to go more. Yeah. And you go down again and you're coming up and you're like seeing the face of God and you're struggling. Yeah. You're like, I got more. And going until it's like, I literally cannot lift it. Where you go down, it's like, I can't get back up. I'm bailing on this one.
Yeah.
And getting past that, knowing like, listen, I'm not dropping this weight until I get to that freaking, that's where it's like telling your brain, because you can easily, like, I can rack this and go home.
Yeah.
You're like, you telling your brain, go back down, get another one. Get another one. Or deadlifts, right? Where it's like you've gotten those 4 or 5. And you're like, I got more in me. Yeah. You put the weight on the ground, you're like, and you go up for another one. You put this thing in your brain, like, I'm not stopping until this number happens. And sometimes you're like, you try to get it and you fail at 4 and you have to get 5+. Rack it, take 20 seconds. Go back under. Get a couple more. Like, whatever I got to do to get past that number, you got to fucking do it.
Yeah.
And it sucks. But that's how you grow. That's just the powerlifting realm. You take that mentality everywhere.
You take that everywhere. I was going to say, like, I feel like a lot of the people that I look up to, you know, and that, like, I respect, it's like, they are people that train and they put their body through hell every day. You know, it's like, it changes. It rewires your brain on how you approach life, I feel like, and how you view hard shit, you know, and it's just the truth, you know, like you wake up, you start your day with hell, you bury yourself in a workout. It's like you have
everything
that
else seems
confidence.
easy.
That's why I like working out in the morning. That's why I like working out at 5:30 a.m. because you wake up.
Yeah.
The majority of people aren't up yet. You already accomplished something that no one ever wants to do.
For sure.
And you get to take on the rest of the day.
Yeah. That's what I feel like is a big, you know, takeaway training gave me is confidence, you know, like in high school, like, being that kid, whatever, like, you know, like I struggled in high school too, you know, like.
What was a man like in high school?
I kind of just like ran to the beat of my own drum, like I did my own thing, you know what I mean?
You
like,
don't say.
You
don't say. I didn't get that about you.
I did sports and stuff, you know, I did field hockey, I did gymnastics, stuff like that, but then I just was like, you know, I really got into training and like it just gave me so much confidence, you know, and like I loved it. I fell in love with it.
When exercising just makes you feel it makes you better all around because it makes you feel good about yourself.
It makes me feel good.
It does. Like when you exercise,
you're gonna show up better. You're gonna perform better in life.
Good. Nobody has ever said after a workout, "I wish I didn't work out."
Yeah, it's a
right.
Great point.
Barring even if you okay, you've got an injury or something, like you're doing a workout and you like tore your ACL or something. Okay, like that kind of sucks. All right, but that's the small percentage. Everybody that has gotten through a workout and gotten out of it healthy, nobody's going to say, I wish I didn't work out today. Nobody has ever said that.
Yeah.
So just doing it. Get there, do it, get it over with, and you'll feel better about yourself. Like, now I'm good. I accomplished something. I checked off a box.
Discipline over motivation, guys.
You said Jocko before. Jocko, I remember this was years ago. I saw him a video where he talks about he was one of the reasons why I wanted to start going to the gym at 5:30.
Oh, no way.
I wasn't a Jocko fan or anything. I just saw his video and he talked about I didn't have a kid or anything.
He's like, just do it.
He was just like, I go to the gym at 5:30. He's like, because I'm responsible for my family. I'm responsible for doing this and doing that. The only time I have time for myself is 5 to 6 a.m. in the morning. I go to the gym at 5:30. I do this, do that, and I have the rest of the day for my other responsibilities. And I was like, I don't know, 25. I was like, fuck it.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that mentality. I'm going to start going to the gym super early.
That's awesome.
And that's really what started it. And
yeah.
And the thing is, too, is you don't even have to. People think, I need all of this time to work out. You don't. Do you have 15 minutes? Because I have people that say, like, I don't have the time. I can't. I'm busy. You don't have 15 minutes?
Just hit some push-ups on the floor.
You don't have 15 minutes. I was like, I do a workout, and I tell us, I've said this before. It's a EMOM, every minute on the minute.
Yeah.
EMOM.
Oh, those are brutal.
And they're fucking brutal.
Yeah.
15 minutes. I said, you have 15 minutes? I said, put a timer on for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And every minute, on the minute, do 20 squats or 20 push-ups. Start the clock, 20 squats. Wait till the clock. When it hits 14 minutes, do another 20. When it hits 13, do another 20. 12, work all the way down. By the time you get to the end, your legs are going to be shaking.
Oh my God,
15 minutes, you're done.
Some of the hardest workouts I've ever done. Like, I sponsor a few CrossFit Games athletes, and that's like another thing I'll do with the business is like, I guess you could call it kind of like ambassadors. Like, I'll sponsor athletes, they'll talk about my brand, they'll talk about my supplements, wear my apparel to competitions and stuff. And like they're big into CrossFit, and like I was that meathead that was like, oh, CrossFit's stupid, like always mocking CrossFit, making fun of it. And these
the pull-ups are stupid.
Yeah. The butterfly.
the kipping pull-ups are stupid.
Yeah. But like I started adding in like 15-minute like quick things like that. And I am like buried, like worse than powerlifting, where I'm like, oh my God, my lungs. But tomorrow I got to hit cardio, and I promise you guys I'll feel fine after this.
Yeah, we want to update about.
I'll update you guys.
So is one of your sayings with your merch, fear is a liar?
Yeah.
Now, do you know what fear stands for? The acronym?
You want to fill me in?
False evidence appearing real.
Yeah.
You like that?
It's true.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. Fear gets in the way of everything.
False
really
evidence appearing real. My uncle told me that one day.
You know what you need to? You know what she needs to read? You need to read "Outwitting the Devil."
Outwitting the Devil.
Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill.
Okay.
Old book. So Napoleon Hill is famous for writing.
We talk about this book all the time.
Think and Grow Rich.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard of that.
So he wrote another book called Outwitting the Devil, which actually wasn't going to be published because it was very controversial. But in the book, he writes about having a conversation with the devil. He talks about interviewing the devil.
Yeah.
And asking the devil questions about how does he do his work. Right?
It's all Q&A. It's literally all Q&A.
Yeah.
And he asks the devil, like he talks about the devil tries to create what he calls drifters, people that drift about life, never amounting to what they can, because the devil has instilled fear into them.
They don't take action on anything. They let fear get in the way.
So if they let fear get in the way, he goes, I instill fear into people and prevents them from doing everything that can make them great.
It's true.
And you got to read that book. If you're big into fear is...
And it's not religious or anything like that. Yeah. It's literally just the devil, and he talks about how the devil is in control of 98% of the world because, again, he does fear of poverty, fear of risk, fear of loss, fear of everything, fear of failure, everything. And
that's why people don't take action is because they're afraid.
Yeah. They're afraid.
Remove that.
And success is on the other side of fear.
Yeah.
And and he talks about everything that's prevalent today.
Yeah.
School systems, the crazy things going there, the churches, the media, and this happened I think he wrote this in the 1930s, 1940s.
That's what our world is ruled by right now.
And he talks about all of it and how the devil is incorporated into all these facets of our society. It's a mind-blowing book. It really is.
I'm gonna read it.
It's really crazy.
I'm gonna order it.
Yeah.
You'll like it. On Amazon. It's like $20.
And as a Christian woman, you'll like it even more because of the fact that that's what the devil
it'll be right up your alley.
Yeah.
It's what the devil tries to do in people.
So so is this one of your slogans here? So fear is a liar.
It is, yeah. Right when you walk into my store, on the wall, right when you walk in, it says, "Do not be afraid," is written in the Bible 365 times.
Yes. Wow.
Do not be afraid, fear is a liar.
Yes.
So I have that right when you walk in. And like, listen.
So say that again. In the Bible.
In the Bible, the word fear is a liar is written 365 times.
That statement.
Oh, do not. Is it fear?
Like, do not be afraid.
Do not be afraid.
Yeah, I have to pull it up. I have to pull the exact thing up.
Do not be afraid is written
in the Bible.
365 times in the Bible. So
Yeah.
it says every single day, do not be afraid.
Yeah.
For the Lord is with you.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, I don't try to push it on anyone, you know, like,
Just the same.
but it's just it's planting a seed in people's lives, you know, and like, you know, I tell my staff, like, when people walk in, make sure you treat people with kindness, you know, like, because that could be the only positive interaction they have a day.
Yeah,
and like, you know, if they leave there and they're like, oh, why was that person different? Something seemed different about them. And it's like, well, that person has God in them. You know what I mean? Like, they're positive, they're happy, they want to help you. And like, that's it, you know?
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, just being simple kindness goes a long way. Again, this is something we talk about on the podcast all the time. Even if someone walks into your shop having a shitty day, you're like, hey, look, I like your shirt. I like your tattoos. I like your hair.
Making connections with people, making people feel seen. That's the biggest problem in the world is people just don't feel seen.
That's
you know?
very true.
Yeah.
And you simply by just saying, hey, I like your tats, I like your hair.
Yeah.
That will make a person feel better for the day. And maybe like, you know, go on and have a better day. And it's like, you know what, that person was nice to me today.
Exactly.
It's worth living
and I'm not like
day.
shoving it down people's throat like, oh, I'm a Christian, you have to do this. But it's like, you know, it's so crazy. I have so many different types of people that come in and everyone notices that wall and they're like, that's beautiful.
But I mean, I don't think you even need to, even if you are a Christian, I think that can be interpreted by any background, creed, or whatever. It doesn't have to be a Christian thing. It can, you know, fear is different to everybody.
Exactly.
And that's how people take it. And I think it's a great thing when you walk in, because you walk in, you're like, oh shit, this place is fucking serious.
Yeah. That's a different vibe too about the store. When you guys come by, you'll see it. But like so many supplement stores, I feel like back in the day were so intimidating. Like you'd walk in and like there's a bunch of guys sitting around and like you're like, you guys must sell steroids here, huh? And like my store, it's just a totally different vibe. Like we have couches, areas to hang out. Like it's inviting, you know, and it's like people are nice. Like they want to help you. And that's our vibe, you know?
I love it.
Yeah.
Do people like, so you have like a little lounge spot, you said?
Yeah, we do.
Do people like come to the gym and then they go to your place?
Yeah, we're right next to a gym, so it's great.
Can you smoke cigars in this lounge?
Maybe eventually. We got to get that rabbit air filter in there.
Or you can get the BDP 1000 like we do right here.
Honestly, we're not like long off from that. So, but yeah, it's cool, you know. Like, I mean, I have like 80-year-old grandmothers that come in, grab a shake, sit there, and read a book, and then like
that's awesome.
Little kids that walk in, like 10 years old. It's crazy. We have just such a different demographic of people, like
it's
all
Pleasantville,
ages.
Right?
Pleasantville.
Yeah, the only thing I ever knew about Pleasantville was the movie with
the black and white one.
Everyone tells me I gotta watch it. I've never even seen it.
I've never seen it either. I've always, the only
reason why I know
it because when you watch VHSs back in the day, they always had movies, and that was always one of the attractive movies, and it was always went from black and white to.
It's what's his name? Tobey Maguire, right?
Yeah, Tobey Maguire. Yeah, and I
gotta watch it.
I have no idea the premise of the movie, but I just know it's called Pleasantville.
You've never seen the movie?
No.
Oh, so Pleasantville it's about Tobey Maguire and who's that girl? Reese Witherspoon.
Okay.
The two of them, brother and sister, and they watch a show called Pleasantville. It's a black and white show, and they watch it all the time. And they wind up getting sucked into the TV show. And now they're in the show, and they have to play the roles of the two characters.
Reminds me of that other movie. What is that movie? Is it Jumanji?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, reminds me of that. Yeah.
So they get sucked into the show,
That's
right?
a new one, though.
And he's like, we can't fuck things up. We have to keep acting as... And the sister is kind of like going off the rails a little bit.
Yeah.
And she starts, because everything's like perfect. Everybody acts perfect. Everybody doesn't do nothing wrong. But the sister kind of goes off the rails a little bit. She starts putting a little bit of like difference in the, and people start kind of getting a little bit loose a little while. And then things start happening where like color will start coming into their world. So it's black and white, and it's filmed black and white. But then something happens, like somebody kind of strays off the path a little bit. And then like a rose is now red. And people are like, the fuck is that? And they're like, and he looks at his sister. He's like, you can't go off the rails. Look at what you're doing.
Sounds
you're
like they're
ruining
on mushrooms.
And like, and then,
psychedelic.
but like more people start going off, and more people become like instead of being like zombies doing the same thing every day, they kind of start becoming their own people, and it like brightens up the world. And it's kind of like symbolic of you can't just be. Everybody's different. Yeah. Everybody has their own things, and they're all, and it brightens up and then all color comes in the world, and it's
love it.
It's pretty cool.
I like it. I'm gonna put it on my watch list.
Yeah.
Outwitting the Devil in Pleasantville.
Yeah.
Pleasantville. Yeah.
Pleasantville.
Yeah. So that's the only thing I know about Pleasantville, New York.
Yeah.
2 hours.
Perfect.
2 hours.
Crushed it.
This is great.
See?
Yeah.
Next time we're gonna deadlift.
Fuck
I
yeah.
think you
on.
guys gotta come to Pleasantville, and we gotta film a video for my store. We're gonna mic you guys up. We're gonna do a gym video.
All right.
Yeah.
I gotta be back. I gotta be back in the gym. I gotta be primed up.
We're gonna
Can't
get
be
you
doing cold
there.
turkey.
We're gonna get you there.
So
Yeah.
we'll get that coordinated. But
Great.
at this time, you kind of gave us already a little bit of insight what you're looking to do.
Yeah.
But
We started on it.
we already started.
I derailed us a little
Yeah.
I think
bit. Sorry.
everyone here has ADHD. And
Yeah,
I
it's
we might-
great.
derailed us, man.
But we're at the
Sorry.
end of the podcast where we like to give you the red carpet. And again, plug away any updates where people can find you, where the store is.
Yeah,
What do you got going
so-
away?
Just Boundless Nutrition. We're at Boundless Nutrition NY on Instagram and Facebook. So yeah, that's where you can find me on there.
Perfect.
But yeah, we're just we're here to help you guys. So come by Pleasantville, New York.
Amanda Herdman,
Thank you.
Boundless
guys.
Nutrition, gun lover, powerlifter,
Patriot.
entrepreneur, patriot. Do you like bourbon?
Yeah, how'd you know?
Bourbon lover. I took a guess. Tattoo lover. Merc. Oh, a jacket of many trades.
Yes, I like that word.
We appreciate you coming on the podcast.
Thank you guys. I appreciate you both.
Yes,
Thank you
for
it's
coming.
been a
Thank you for
pleasure. And as we like to say, I have water. You have water now.
I got coffee.
But we like to say our signature send off. Cheers, chin chin, and salute. Thank you
Salute.
guys for watching and listening. We'll see you on the next one.
Thanks, guys.
We're out.
Bye.